It's time for Twig, This Week in Google with Jeff Jarvis, Ant Pruitt, Stacey Higginbotham. The SEC is going after Binance and Coinbase. But should they? Minecraft comes to the Chromebook. Jeff's really, really happy about that. And we'll talk about the state of media today. It's all coming up next on Twig.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Twig, This Week in Google, episode 719, recorded Wednesday, June 7th, 2023. Bromides and Bluster. This Week in Google is brought to you by Melissa. More than 10,000 clients worldwide rely on Melissa for full spectrum data quality and ID verification software. Make sure your customer contact data is up to date. Get started today with 1,000 records cleaned for free at melissa.com/twit. And by Brooklinen. Every occasion deserves a gift, whether it's celebrating newlyweds, a first move, or just making it through the week. And what's better than the gift of coziness from Brooklinen? Visit brooklinen.com today and get $20 off plus free shipping on orders of $100 plus with the code TWIG. And by Cisco Meraki. With employees working in different locations, providing a unified work experience seems about as easy as herding cats. How do you rein in so many moving parts? The Meraki Cloud-Managed Network. Learn how your organization can make hybrid work work. Visit meraki.cisco.com/twit. It's time for Twig, This Week in Google, the show where we cover the latest news from Google, from Microsoft, from Facebook and Twitter. No Apple. No Apple today.
Sure.
That's Mr. Ant Pruitt sitting right next to me.
Hello, sir.
With Snoopy on your chest. Did I mention that Apple...
Snoopy, that's Joe Cool.
I was about to say, which Apple is going to put on a watch?
On a watch. There you go. Look at that. From Hands On Photography. Hi, Ant. That was Stacey Higginbotham from Stacey on IoT. Hello, Stacey.
Hello.
What's show me your band on your wrist.
Bracelets? Oh, my bracelets?
Yeah, that's pretty. Is that Pride?
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
I really like that.
No, they're
like,
it's Pride-ish.
It is. I mean, I am proud, but so yeah, this is actually a good gift for people, y'all. If you have women in your life or men who
is it
like
a
color.
USB key in a bracelet?
No, it's just a nice looking bracelet. Oh. It's by a woman named Roxanne Auslane, I think. I don't know.
I bet there's a secret code to it. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Could be.
Auslane. That's her name.
Could be
anyway, they're great.
It could be a barcode.
It can't just be a regular bracelet.
No, we're trying really hard
for you
to make it, give it a tech angle of some kind.
It's not. It doesn't have a tech angle. It just looks nice.
Is it
story?
I can
anything? You can't control. You hit the turquoise and something happens. You hit the white and something else happens.
That is Jeff
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
I respect you, Stacey.
He is the Leonard Tow Professor for Journalistic Innovation at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at the City University.
Well, I'll be seeing tomorrow.
New York. He is accompanied
an autographed copy of my book.
Oh, nice. The Gutenberg parenthesis.
And happy birthday to Mr. Newmark.
Oh, his birthday today?
It's not today.
Around this time?
I think I missed it.
Jeff, I want to say, and I know you wouldn't bring this up because you're not that kind of guy, but I do want to say that I am hurt and chagrined that the school is dropping the engagement journalism program.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not talking about it. They say they're pausing it, but I'm not sure exactly what that means.
Tell us what engagement journalism is and why it's important.
So engagement journalism is a program it's the proudest accomplishment of my career to start this program. And the idea is that you don't start with the journalists and our ideas. You start by listening to and observing and understanding and relating to communities. And only then can you imagine what journalism they might need. And our students come out and they get the most amazing jobs. They are changing newsrooms. They're the Trojan horses to change the relationship of the journalist to the public. And they're just great.
Oh, my God.
And they were talking about this. And it's a great, great program. And somehow, some way, the flame will continue, damn it.
Good. Yeah, it's too bad. And this wasn't the entirety of your job there at.
No. I've started 3 master's degrees, and I don't have a master's degree. I just
That's
have
hysterical.
a
Wow.
But you're a working.
I started
journalist,
entrepreneurial journalism, but that's now a slightly different program. Though I would love to see that become something different. I started our executive program, News Innovation Leadership, which is phenomenal. It's people, the order of managing editors and CEO, vice presidents and such, the next leaders. And then I started engagement with my colleague, Carrie Brown, who's just brilliant.
And what I admire, of course, is that while everybody is talking about the death of journalism and death of local news and death of newspapers, you're doing something about it, which I think you deserve some praise for. You're really looking for new ways for journalism to be relevant.
Yeah, exactly. And the students do that. They spend the entire year and a half with one community. So they get very much in depth with that community, understand that community's needs, and they do creative things. One of our brilliant students, for example, used the theater of the oppressed to get women who had been abused to be able to tell their own stories and change their endings. One student was a recovering addict, and she found ways to serve addicts with data. Another student lost a sister to addiction and found ways to bring their families together.
Oh, that's great.
So it's journalism of a very different stripe. So I thank you for noticing. I really am grateful. I'm very, very proud of everything the students done. The school says it's going to come back in some form, but we're going to have to see what they say.
Well, I put in my vote to support it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my friend.
It makes a lot of sense. And we need these new ways to be relevant because we need journalism for crying out loud. And speaking of which, big change at CNN. I read the Atlantic.
Oh, that's what we're leading with?
Yeah. Well, I thought we could do a whole journalism block. You're a journalist.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
It seems relevant. It all started with an Atlantic profile. And actually, here's why I'm interested in this. This is Christopher Lick, who is was the CEO. Tim Alberta was embedded with him for, I think, more than a year and got really unprecedented access, so much so that he was able to write a long profile in the Atlantic, which pretty much caused Chris Lick to lose his job, I would say. Begins with taking...
Brian Stelter said that no one was surprised by what was in it because they were living it. But once the world saw what they were living, then that was it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if David Zaslav had a choice at that point. So it's because at CNN, Jeff Zucker, right before Zaslav took over, or maybe shortly after he took over in the merger, Jeff Zucker, who had been running CNN quite effectively, had to leave because he was engaged in a relationship with a subordinate. And Chris Licht was brought in without experience running a giant news division, but he had experience he created Morning Joe for MSNBC. And he worked at Conan O'Brien.
He worked at Colbert.
Or Colbert,
He worked at the morning show on CBS.
Right. So he had some experience in news, but apparently it wasn't a good mesh. And the final straw, and of course, that's all part of this, I think, really well done article by Tim Alberta, assuming that it's accurate. It ended with, of course, the Trump town hall, which all the people at CNN, the insiders were appalled by, apparently. They hit it fairly well, not all of them, but they hit it. Nevertheless, it was I think the beginning of the end. So
Perry Bacon Jr. at the Washington Post had a superb column today about it. When he was talking about Licht as an effort to create anti-woke centrism. That we're centric and we're not gonna deal with this or that or that, and we're gonna hide a doctrine under this idea of centrism, as if there's any such thing, especially in a world where we are so unbalanced. To find a center between one extreme and something that's not extreme is not a center.
Yeah,
it's closer to the extreme.
Yeah,
right.
Well, let me channel Aunt Pruitt. I don't really need to. He's sitting right here.
Oh boy!
I can't wait.
But I'm gonna.
He's the ant. Leo is the. It's a little known fact. He's the ant whisperer.
I'm the ant whisperer.
Oh, okay. So you say anyway.
I think that probably you are fed up and frustrated in general with 24-hour news.
I am. It's really, really hard for me to keep up with pretty much anything going on today because of the way news is reported. It's so sensationalized, and then there's a whole lot of slant to it. It doesn't necessarily have to be slanted. Just give us the facts, give us the news. There's a fire that's happening in Canada right now. That is news. It shouldn't be a story that says there's a fire in Canada that's happening because of this vaccination or this whatever propaganda, whatever. It's always some type of weird slant to everything that's presented to us, and I can't stand it.
You can't give people news without giving them context, though. You can't say there's a fire in Canada without explaining why that fire exists, because otherwise you're never going to help solve a problem. So I think that's where people get into trouble.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, but is it your job to have them solve the problem? Or, I mean, I understand the real problem is if you have a 24-hour news channel, you got a lot of space to fill. Yeah, I remember when we decided to do 8 hours.
This feels like it's a 24-hour news show.
Yeah, it really does.
I learned my chops there. I can fill hours with nothing. But so I understand that that's probably a particular challenge. But are the days when a newspaper would just, or did it never exist? Just the facts, right? Which is what Ant wants, right?
That's all I need. Just the facts of the matter.
Just the facts.
Go ahead.
Just that you don't. Stacey. I imagine that if you had just the facts, they would not be as valuable as that's not exactly what you're looking for.
It's insufficient.
I think
in some instances, right. Yeah. In some instances, I would want some
you want to know why.
Even with sports. Yeah. But even think about a sporting event. When you watch someone broadcast sports, obviously you want the facts. You want the scores and the stats that go with the person. But there's a tremendous value in having a commentator who knows the team and can be like, oh, and Ricky Bob has just lost his father last week, so he's probably playing pretty poorly. Let's see how he's going to handle this today.
Right.
I don't know.
That's a cricket. It's a cricket player. You don't know the cricket.
That's generic. And that's good.
I'm sure it actually probably is. I wouldn't know.
That's good, but what I don't necessarily want is if I turn on NBC to watch the game of the week and it's, say, Oklahoma versus Texas, and the broadcasters are clearly for the Oklahoma
that's
Sooners.
Awful. Yeah.
That's a problem.
I agree.
Yeah. Neither one of those are my teams, but I still want to enjoy the fact of the matter that this is a competitive football
Here's
game.
the proof of what Stacey said. You could just watch the game. But you want commentary? You could turn the sound off and just
Give me the commentary of 1st and 10
some color
at the 28-yard line, and it's a little warm out here today, so expect a lot of drop balls and humidity.
I love it when Tony Romo does his color because he was a quarterback, and he'll say, "Well, see here, they're looking for the." They're playing
it's an 8-man front, so they're probably expecting to run on 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Let me try this out on you. Not sports, but
by the way, that's what I have Lisa for. I turn the sound off, and I say, "Lisa, what's going on?" She said, Only if the Niners are not doing well.
Oh, gosh.
Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
So, Ant, there's a movement called solutions journalism. And the idea is that the journalists don't solve anything, but that when you report a problem, if a community is working on a solution, you should also report that.
Yes.
You should let people know what they're working on, and we can judge that, and we can judge success or failure. But to leave it alone with saying the world's effed up here and effed up there and effed up here is insufficient.
The fact that they're mentioning that there is a solution out there, that's factual. That's giving me the facts.
All right.
Yeah, let me channel you one more time, man.
Good.
Because what news does now, and it's all about ratings, it's the same reason Twitter is the way it is you're going to stick around longer if you're upset, if you're outraged.
Right.
And so whether it's MSNBC or Fox or CNN, if they want ratings, the thing to do, they know that. Yeah. The thing to do is get you pissed off.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
wrong.
Yeah. And you're tired of being pissed off.
But that's the thing. I'm not saying everybody needs to be like Aunt Pruitt, even though there's nothing really wrong with that. But why aren't more people in society saying, hey, this is not good. Stop giving us this garbage.
I bet you feel manipulated by these guys.
It's very easy to be manipulated. Yeah. Very easy.
It is. They know how, and they've refined it over years. And it's a challenge. Now, the reason I bring it up, there is a tech angle, although I'm fascinated by the soap opera as well. But there is a tech angle because I saw somebody say, you see what Alberta did to Licht, watch out. because Michael Lewis has been embedded with Elon Musk for the same amount of time. Watch out.
Right.
This is an interesting new form of journalism where you spend a year with the subject, a long time with the subject, and create a profile, and there's a high risk level to giving that person that kind of access.
Michael Lewis has been...
No, it's
no. I'm sorry, Samuel Bankman-Fried. He was embedded with.
Oh, okay.
Who was embedded with? Somebody else was embedded with Elon. Elon's given.
Hold on, Walter Isaacson.
That's it.
Isaacson.
But now Isaacson's not going to do. Isaacson is a hagiographer. No, he's a hagiographer.
He's good. He's not going to. But Michael Lewis will make you look
SBF.
both dramatic.
That's who he's with. Yeah.
Oh well, that'll be good. That'll be like the big
won't that be good? Yeah.
I missed it. Who's he with?
SBF. Samuel Bankman-Fried. The whole way.
Oh, geez.
From the tip of the top of the pops to the bottom of the barrel.
Well, Your Honor, I'd prefer not to hand over my recordings, but
anyway,
I guess I have.
So that's of interest from a tech point of view.
Yikes.
Speaking of him, if I may for a minute,
yes.
Leo, I was doing research this week for the internet book I'm working on, and I was on the AI chapter, and I started digging into long-termism. Whoa, what a rabbit hole, a rat hole that is. Have you looked at that much?
What is long-termism?
Are those like the clock of the long now type people?
Not really. It's more than that. So it's what Peter Thiel believes in. So I think there's a little bit of Sam Altman. Fried was also there. It's related to effective altruism. Musk is into this. So the deal is...
This is where, by the way, from previous shows, the term existential risk comes from.
Right, exactly.
This whole notion of AI being an existential risk, when you see that in that 20-word statement, that's long-termism.
Right. So and it's related to a whole bunch of things. I've got to, let me find it here in my write-up. But so they believe that in the future, there will be 10 to the 54th human beings. If we do a good job and if we populate the solar system and maybe the universe, the future has so many more people than we have today or in the past. So that really changes our priorities about things. And we should really worry about our obligation to that future, which on the one hand sounds okay, because like, let's get rid of climate change because we want to be nice to our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren. Okay. But it brings with it all kinds of things like, so it's the acronym here is TESCREAL.
I'll give you the real problem here, which is it ends up becoming something the Nazis used to say: the ends justify the means.
Exactly, and it says that, but it means other things too. It's like enhanced human beings is part of this, so that you can move ahead. Well, that starts to look like eugenics pretty quickly, which is another Nazi thing.
Yep.
The idea that maybe you should push resources and money to rich people because they're more likely to improve the future.
It's very beneficial to billionaires. It's the first, is all you really need to know, and then you can stop right there.
So there's an acronym, TESCREAL. So it's a combination of transhumanism, extropianism, the belief that technology can make us immortal, singularitarianism, right? You know what that is, the singularity. Cosmism, a cosmic belief in promoting life off Earth. Rationalism, we know what that is from our philosophy courses. Effective altruism, it's good to make a fortune. And long-termism, which also a little utilitarianism in there too. You start digging into the beliefs and it gets wacky.
It ends up justifying a lot of
means, and the things that happen, like the Holocaust, are just ripples in the bigger context.
It justifies a lot of bad behavior in the present because you're projecting down the road, and it's all about. Trust me, it's okay for me to be rich and build a house in a silo because it's all about the future and not the present. And I think it really is a terrible point of view. And I'm
wants to read more about this. There's a guy named Emil Torres who was a long-termist, who's now a non-believer, and he's written a lot. They have written, a lot of really interesting things digging into this. But it so informs what these tech boys are thinking.
I think it's appealing because the principles aren't wrong, and so it's very appealing, especially if you have kind of a sci-fi futurist mindset.
Right, exactly.
But it's used to justify really poor behavior. I mean, it's really why Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and why would all these guys support RFK
Why does he think that everybody has to have babies? Why does he want to go to Mars? It all fits into this.
Yeah. And it's a great way of avoiding responsibility for what's happening right now in your factories.
Yep.
But I'm thinking of the future. So, you know.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, the other side of this that I thought of when all of this came out, because, of course, one of the issues, the great issues that Jeff Zucker had to face and Chris Licht had to face at CNN is this issue of 2020 denialism. 2020, the election was a lie and Trump won. And of course, the very first thing that happened in the Donald Trump rally that CNN hosted was, Caitlin Collins said, well, who won the election in 2020? And Trump said, I did. And as much as she would try, there was no way she could interject on that.
Which they knew was going to happen.
They knew this was going to happen. So you may remember Twitter, Facebook, YouTube all blocked election denialism. What is the term for this 2020 lie?
Big lie or
big lie.
The big lie. Yeah. They have now, and this is an article from platformer Casey Newton, all given up blocking those. YouTube announced this week, we're not going to block videos with the big lie anymore. Twitter has long stopped blocking that. There's this huge movement. And one of the things Casey says, which is really interesting, is that Elon has been the stalking horse for all this. Companies like YouTube and Facebook watch carefully what Elon gets away with at Twitter and go, okay, we can do it now too. This does not bode, if you ask me, bode well for 2024. Forget the future.
What's the rationale? I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing, Leo. What's the platform's excuse?
Actually, I don't know.
I couldn't find any.
Casey says one function Musk now serves in the tech ecosystem is to give cover to other companies seeking to make unpalatable decisions. Across a variety of dimensions, Musk has moved fast and loudest, and when others have followed, the response has been barely a whimper because we're all paying attention to Elon, right? Mass layoffs, stricter job performance requirement. Remember, Twitter laid off almost more than half of its staff.
Damn near everybody.
Stricter job performance requirements. You will show up or death. A war on remote work. Paid verification for social accounts. Twitter checks. All of these served as a kind of this is Casey Newton writing, aphrodisiac for other Silicon Valley CEOs who proceeded to implement their own slightly softer versions of Musk's cultural reset. In effect, he moved the Overton window, I guess, Yeah. He was so extreme.
Didn't the Wall Street Journal just have a story about Elon Musk and why he's focused on the grind? And it was I was surprised because it was in the Wall Street Journal.
I have to say, I have stopped paying attention to the Wall Street Journal.
Did they show him in a good light? Really?
In the last few months, the Rupert Murdoch.
No. They were saying his focus on the grind is he's basically focused on this despite the fact that employees hate it. And he's trying to convince them to work more than they really should. Again, I was surprised to see it in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Leo's right. They've been promoting Musk. They've talked about the Musk doctrine. They've been trying to make him seem more serious than we know he is.
Elon Musk is all about the nonstop grind, and he can't stop talking about it. Yeah, I'm not sure is this negative? Billionaire tries to motivate workers with focus on sacrifice.
The Wall Street Journal we're talking about.
As many push for work-life balance. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So this is kind of negative.
It was a little skeptical. It was skeptical of his focus on the grind and basically saying that it's really just designed to make employees work harder without any sort of compensation. Basically, it's
Musk says he works 120 hours a week.
Works on what?
Asked at the Wall Street Journal CEO Council Summit in May about managing his workload, Musk says he tries to divide his time predominantly between one company each day. So Tesla's Tuesdays. You thought it was Taco Tuesday?
No Taco Tuesday, Tesla Tuesday.
Though he might end his day working on Twitter, which also has a T, so it could be Twitter Tuesday. Musk says that with the acquisition of Twitter, his work has exploded to more than 120 hours a week.
How is that possible for leadership?
17 hours a day. I mean,
thanks for the math. We needed that, Jammerby. Seriously.
I was like, let me calculate that real fast.
He says he takes off.
Jammerby, or was there a calculator involved?
No, Jammerby's very good. He's got a mind like a steel trap. A week earlier, Musk suggested to CNBC in an interview he takes off 2 or 3 days every year.
Well, that's kind of like my life.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There is a fine line between the quote unquote grind and just stupid idiocy. Yes, you should work hard and try to, improve your company, improve yourself or what have you, but you should also sleep just to stay alive.
Reasonable management, we're always telling you to take a vacation.
Right.
Reasonable management should include employees' well-being in the equation, unless you're all interchangeable cogs. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Stop talking.
Anyway, I don't trust anything Elon says. I find that hard to believe, Elon, but okay, maybe he is.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't say we've all, but I've done a lot of time with just working ridiculously long hours, but I had an end goal and I could see it and said, you know what, when I get to that goal, all of that is going to change. I don't have to work as hard because, everybody on the team was working for that same goal. We knew it's just going to be a little bit of a rough patch right now, but just get there and then things will even out. And we all agreed on it. It wasn't something that was just forced upon us. It was, it's worth it to go ahead and push these extra hours, to push this extra 20 hours a week in overtime or something,
Hear from, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. And that's Elon's own companies. Like if Elon wants to work 17 hours a day, go for it, man. It's your companies.
Because he gets that's what makes him the richest man in the world.
Yeah, but your workers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to work for me really, really hard so I can reap the benefits of your ruined life.
Yeah. No, I can't do it.
Yeah. Here
is YouTube's official blog post, an update on our approach to U.S. election misinformation. We craft our policies. We always keep two goals in mind: protecting our community and providing a home. Oh boy, here you go, for open discussion and debate. These goals are sometimes in tension with each other. They feel it's important to be able to openly debate political ideas. Is it really a fair thing to say that a political idea is Donald Trump's assertion that he did not lose the election 4 years ago, 3 years ago? That doesn't seem like, that's like flat earthers saying, well, if you had an open mind, you might consider. Anyway, when we first instituted,
you can go two ways. You can say this is a place where anybody can say anything, and it's up to you to judge, and we're not going to do that. Or this is a place where we're going to try to have a quality conversation, and we're going to act upon that and put the investment into that. But you can't kind of be in the middle of that. You can't, and that's where Section 230 came in. Is you can't kind of say I'm going to warrant that I have a good place, but then I'm not going to do anything.
Right. So YouTube is saying we have taken down tens of thousands of videos, but we decided to reevaluate the effects of this policy in today's changed landscape. In the current environment, now listen carefully to this logic, we find that while removing this content does curb some misinformation, it could also have the unintended effect of curtailing political speech without meaningfully reducing the risk of violence or other real-world harm. I debate all those points. First of all, a lie about something that happened 3 years ago is not, that's misinformation. Right?
Is that you also are saying, hey, we want you to have your free speech?
That's not political speech. Or maybe it is.
Yeah, political speech is women deserve the right to vote, which long ago in the past, and actually not that long ago, was a crazy assertion. People were like, what? No, women, they're all addled and such.
They even say,
but there's no fact there.
Right. They even say we will stop removing content that advances false claims. So they stipulate these are false claims, that widespread fraud, errors, or glitches occurred in the 2020 and other past.
I think that's wrong, but let me play Leo for a minute.
Okay.
Just to say devil's advocate.
Are you going to be the Leo whisperer?
Let's
because Ann Pruitt might have something to say about that.
I have to touch your thigh and get the vibrations.
Oh boy.
As you did with Ann.
Catch that in pre-show on Twit Plus.
Yeah. That was before the show. See, this is why you want to be around for the club, folks. You get all the fun moments. So, when the stuff is taken down, the paradox we're stuck in is that it amplifies it itself. See, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know this stuff.
Okay.
And so, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm not necessarily believing this. I'm not as good at this as Leo is. But one could argue that you're better off to leave the crap up and let the best stuff win. That's kind of the argument about the marketplace of ideas. And that by thinking that we can get rid of all wrong and stupid and bad things, we're going to constantly fail against that. And so why try? That would be an argument.
Now, I'm going to channel Ant in response to that.
Okay,
go ahead.
Right.
You can't fix stupid.
That sounds like me. That sounds exactly like me.
I mean, you can't win on that one. If we take it down, then people say, "We see that proves it." If you leave it up, it just convinces more people that it's true. Yeah. You just can't. You can't win.
So
on
the
that.
only answer to this is what the certain part of this country is going against constantly is education. People who are educated tend to believe fewer stupid things.
Yeah. All of our election misinformation, this is YouTube again, misinformation policies remain in place, including those that disallow content aiming to mislead voters about the time, place, means, or eligibility requirements for voting. That's good. Because one of the voter suppression is a very big issue, right? False claims that could materially discourage voting, including those disputing the validity of voting by mail, and content encourages others to interfere with the democratic processes. So they're going to keep taking that down.
Does any of this discuss what their tools are for fact checking what they're assuming is misinformation? Is this humans? Is this just some algorithm?
They have these they have panels, death panels. No, that's a different kind of panel. They have. It sounds like, so we have an election-focused team, including members of our intelligence desk, trust and safety, and product teams, monitoring real-time developments and making adjustments to our strategy as needed. So maybe they're saying, look, if this really does get to be out of control, maybe we'll change this policy. We'll have more details to share about our approach as the election comes. I think all social networks really are going to have to pay attention to what's going on because it is going to be a very changing landscape with AI, misinformation, and all sorts of stuff. So it's absolutely prudent to say we're going to watch this closely. I don't think so remember that we just recently had a Supreme Court case where the plaintiffs asserted that YouTube, by recommending terrorist videos, was in fact liable for terrorist attacks. Right. By the way, YouTube was protected. The plaintiffs lost that case. Right. As did, and Twitter won as well. Both YouTube and Twitter won in those two cases. So they're not liable. That's, in a way, that's the Section 230. That's good. That gets them off the hook if they do recommend election denialism or if they take down election denial videos. So really, basically all that happened is you can do whatever you think is right.
I don't want to be in any of their shoes when it comes to content moderation.
We know that, right?
I don't want no part.
Horrible job.
Because you have to be able to figure this stuff out.
You can't do it
on the fly.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. When I read the headline, it was like, why? How dare they? But maybe you're right, Jeff. Maybe it's doesn't.
I mean, what do we expect? I think we've got to set the expectations. Now, I think Blue Sky is starting from scratch, right? And Blue Sky has the opportunity to say, we are not going to tolerate Nazis.
They're struggling like hell with moderation.
Right, but it is already
figure out their own moderation.
100,000 users.
And by the way, I just opened Blue Sky. And what do I get?
Oh, no. It's you, Leo. It's not the internet. It's you.
If it starts recommending mushroom remedies.
And this is under following, though.
Yeah, no, these are people. Well, okay.
You're following?
That's your fault.
So that's on you right there, brother.
I'm like, you know what I get? I get a cat.
Oh,
Mine
yeah.
is a cat.
John Scalzi's kitty cat. Yeah, that's popular with friends.
Mine's following.
Why am I following this guy? Wait a minute, let's see who this guy is.
I got the same cat. I got Scalzi's cat.
Yeah, Scalzi's popular right now.
I guess I could unfollow this guy. He's got a nice butt, I gotta admit. Oh, you know what's number 2 right after is John Scalzi's cat.
And look what's 3.
Yep.
You,
Same
Mr.
thing.
Gutenberg parenthesis Jarvis.
Same thing.
Except
Echo
I don't have the
chamber
guy's
here.
butt. Yeah, it is very much. It's very small. It feels very small town still.
It's not though, because it's 100,000 people. It's pretty big. I don't know about Blue Sky. I
But
really don't.
here's the question. If you're, and you've made this decision, Leo, when it comes to your instance on Mastodon, and you're able to do it because it is small and because it is
right,
somewhat homogeneous.
Yes.
In desire and intent.
Yes.
That may be the model where this works in the future. And if you want to go off and do 8chan and you want to go off and do Musk's Twitter and you want to do crazy stuff on YouTube and the big places, it's there.
I'm increasingly a fan of decentralized. Our Discord is fantastic. I mean, I love hanging out there. I love hanging out at twit.social. Our forums are not very active. I wish they were a little more active, but
I don't know now.
You're in there a lot, which is great.
Community?
Yeah, I like Twit.community.
Yeah,
it's the place that we think people will go to comment on shows mostly. Right?
Mm-hmm. And boy, do we get it every Sunday.
Yeah. You noticed that, didn't you?
Every Sunday.
The problem, Leo, it's a technology story. It's when, watch out, Gutenberg parenthesis history moment coming up right now.
Get it.
When steam-powered presses and linotypes and stereotyping came in, the average circulation of a daily newspaper in America before that was 4,000. It was a Substack newsletter. It was smaller than a newspaper was smaller than your instance. And then it went into the millions. And that led to mass media and led to a whole attention economy and advertising and this presumption that everything had to be huge to be worthwhile. I think that's what corrupted so much of our worldview. And it came from media and it went into the internet. And now we've got to try to get rid of that.
So you're saying niche down is more effective?
Change the scale. Everything doesn't need to be mass. Mass itself is an insult. It just puts people in buckets. It's a way not to hear them and not to listen to them, not to recognize their.
But you can't make any money if you're not going big.
Well, if you're trying to make money the old way, but you got to find new ways.
Well, we're not.
And there's dangers in niche. Well, I was just going to say some things have to be mass. Like we should be talking about climate change in mass media because we need to have everybody participate and understand. And also if weird sub-communities start niche and then they come out and start affecting things. And that's where we are with some of these like weird QAnon or incel communities. So I mean, as a niche publisher myself, I'm all about it, but I'm also
we're both niche, right?
Yeah. Super niche-y.
Super niche-y.
I'm of the mind that you can be niche, but still every now and then have a couple of those nuggets out there for everybody to potentially help grow your reach. Does that make sense?
I am, actually that's interesting. So obviously we're not going to become billionaires at Twit. Nor is Stacey on IoT going to make you, you're not going to be buying a 60,000 square foot mansion covering the entire Bainbridge Island. But
that would be horrifying from a climate perspective.
Yes. Yeah. Who knew that cement is actually one of the big polluters? But I think I like stuff at that scale. And that's kind of what humans are built for. We're not built for mass scale. So how do we get Gutenberg, Mr. Gutenberg parenthesis? How did we get to this mass thing?
I can tell you exactly. And I covered that in the book, in a whole chapter about the mass. Because the real idea I wanted to write about was the death of mass. Because I think that's what the internet pretends to do.
I think you're right. Okay. Yes.
And it came from that. Again, it was a technology story. It was because of, number one, the steam-powered press. Number two, cheap paper made from wood. 3, paper made into rolls for machines.
But that made it possible.
Or the linotype.
But who made it happen? Why did it happen?
It was that combination of events that came together.
And then some oligarchs came along and said, if we could sell 1 million newspapers, now we got some money.
Mm-hmm. Well, before the linotype, all of the text in the entire world was set 1 letter at a time by hand. And there was only so much you could set in a day.
Yeah.
And before cheap paper, you couldn't afford to have more than 4 pages. And you couldn't afford to make 1 million copies. You didn't have advertising at that scale. You charged a penny for it, and that's what you got. In this book is the directory of American newspapers in 1900. And when you look at the time, this is to your point, Stacey, the reason I ran away to get this is because if you look at New York City, I mean, it's just phenomenal what existed together.
Yeah, all these small neighborhood papers and then the Jewish community papers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the Times, the Tribune, the Volkszeitung, the Vorwärts, the Wall Street Daily Investigator, the Wall Street Journal, the Wall Street News. That's the W's. The News, Metal Market Report, Jewish Herald, and on and on.
It's interesting, though, isn't this kind of what you're promoting with engagement journalism, is this notion that a journal should serve a community, not just a mass market. Yes, a mass market's good for the Gannett's of the world, but really for the people, it's better to have a local market, an engaged market.
What if you have both?
Okay.
Because there's value in
like a Joe Rogan,
stories.
for instance.
Okay. I was going to say there's value in pulling small stories and niche stories up from those places to the mass, because normal people aren't going to care about a particular topic, but it could be like, let's look at a solution. Maybe a small community in New York has come up with a really cool solution to stop people from idling at schools, which is terrible for air pollution. It's bad for kids. Yeah. So they've created a great program. It's really important that a mass media picks up that niche solution that has been written about in a local paper to broadcast it other places.
Well, does it have to be mass media, or can it just be an idea whose time has come that spreads through the small media?
How do you think it
mass
spreads?
media is going to help it?
It spreads the same way everything
That's how
spreads.
things. How did Black Lives Matter and Me Too spread? Mass media came late to that party, and mass media did not cover those stories that have existed for decades and generations. It spread because the people had the mechanism.
So it spread through social media, which we're kind of in this era of So we're trying. We don't have a mechanism that's good for the viral flow of compelling stories, and there's always going to be a culture. There's going to be a point in the culture or positions in the culture that decide what the culture wants to care about. Yes. And that is mass. Mm-hmm. And so,
no.
Why?
Really?
I'll disagree there.
I disagree.
Again, that comes to the economics of mass, which is what Ant was saying, is how you make money. You make money by getting as many people as possible. Before broadcast, before mechanized print, that wasn't the case. And it was big enough to have a vaudeville show. It was big enough to have a newspaper that covered your community. It was big enough to have a magazine.
Maybe it was before today's economic climate and the desire of PE and the stage we are maybe in capitalism.
Yeah, capitalism, yes, absolutely. Yep.
I cannot believe we're spending this much time on media. I really want to talk about Apple.
We're going to talk about Apple next. And by the way, what about the UFOs? Adriana Langston says we have to talk about the UFOs.
Oh, is she on Twitter?
We'll talk about the UFOs.
Are we going to talk about golf? I want to hear Ann about the
PGA plus LIV. That's scary. What the hell happened there? Anyway,
capitalism.
See, mass.
Yeah.
Mass. Capitalism hates local. It hates small.
Business is business.
It hates Aunt Molly's Huckleberry Jam roadside stand. It wants Smuckers. And that's a problem, I think, because Aunt Polly's is better than Smuckers.
And the internet enabled Aunt Polly to advertise on Google and change all that and finally get a market and an audience.
Yeah. I knew Mrs. Fields. And let me tell you, it was a sad day. Sad day. When Mrs. Fields started making her cookies for the world.
Oh, gosh.
Our show today brought to you by Melissa, the address experts. Love these guys. They've been a sponsor for quite some time because they have a product that makes sense for every business. From forms on a web page to checking out in your shopping cart, customer data comes into your business in a lot of different ways. But it also comes into your business with a lot of different errors. As soon as you've got somebody, even somebody who works for you, your customer service rep, keying in stuff, customer information is going to have errors. It's going to be incomplete. Melissa's got the solution. Melissa's Personator consumer tool. You can get superior snapshots of your customers. You can enrich contact data, which improves your analytics, allows for better targeting and marketing campaigns, helps with fraud detection, something many businesses now have to do with Know Your Customer regulations. Personator Consumer not only appends data, but it'll also verify name, address, and contact information. It can verify or add date of birth, if necessary, social security numbers for quick identity verification. It also enriches data to add geographic and demographic information for you. You can even add longitude and latitude. So not only are you verifying your customer, you're also able to provide them the best possible experience with your business. When you have highly specific demographics, you could personalize your marketing. You could find the best leads. You can offer the best service, the best deal for your customers' situations. With Melissa, you gain access to appendable demographics, including, and this is just a partial list, deceased information, occupation, presence of children, number of adults, marital status, homeowner, renter, household income, a range, length of residence. Melissa's address verification tools leverage 38 years of address verification expertise, and it's flexible. It'll fit any business model from on-prem to SaaS to a full API you can add to your own software. And you'll love this. Melissa's global service can verify addresses for 240 countries and territories and counting to ensure only valid billing and shipping addresses enter your system. Don't worry, your data is safe. Melissa's SOC 2, HIPAA, and GDPR compliant, and they undergo regular audits by independent third parties, so you know your data is always in the best hands. Make sure your customer contact data is up to date. Get started with 1,000 records cleaned for free at melissa.com/twit. Melissa.com/twit. We thank them so much for their support.
Ooh, Scooter X has another media story. Oh, Stacey left. She just disappeared over the chair.
You just killed Stacey. You know, that should be a new thing we could do on every show. You killed Stacey.
Stacey. We need a new stinger.
Yeah. Every show we could have. That would be very funny. It'd be kind of our trademark. What does Scooter X say? Tucker did his first show last night.
Fox News says Tucker Carlson breached his contract by putting his show up.
Yeah, we knew that would be the case, right? He was non-competes. We'll see that.
I can hear y'all.
I mean, does it matter to Tucker Carlson? Probably not, because I'm sure he thought ahead.
You know what I thought was interesting? So he posted a 10-minute video, and somebody said, Tucker's got to get some producers who understand that social is not Fox News. Mm-hmm. He's got to have some jump cuts. He's got to have. It's got to be less of him just talking. You know, he's got to say, smash the bell and hit the subscribe. He's got to. He's just not.
Don't give him any hints, Leo. Don't tell him how to do it.
I actually went to our staff today and said, we've got to get the smash the thing going. Hi, guys. Let's talk about the Vision Pro helmet.
Can't do it, sir. Sorry.
I can't either. I know.
It's so hard.
I think we need a bell that goes off on the show whenever a new member joins.
I could do that.
What about the Punch Leo thing? That would be perfect.
Okay.
Perfect for whom? Perfect for you.
Just give me the signal. Just give me the signal.
Oh, yeah, you got Ant now. Go ahead, try
that's right. We got Ant.
Go ahead, try
that's a lethal weapon. That's okay. A registered weapon.
Sorry, I don't want.
Yeah, I need a button though. I really want the button. So if I have a button that vibrates something like,
you need that a little, you know, one of those cricket things. That goes, and it's just try it. Go with your voice and go ahead. Let's see.
Oh, I do have a clicker.
Oh.
Well, that's pretty good. It's a little latent, but
I'm glad I wasn't wearing the Vision Pro. That might have been very realistic. You said you wanted to talk about Apple, Miss Stacey.
Oh man, like 40 minutes ago. Yes.
46 minutes ago.
Well.
I'm getting a welt.
Just think
by the way, Stacey, before we get there, I just want your fingernail polish color is great.
Let's see.
It's orange.
Ooh, I know, but it matches your shirt.
Really orange. It's the color of my sky out here, but
you're doing a thing.
This is UT burnt orange. This is actually Clemson or University of Tennessee.
Oh, somebody likes that.
There you go.
No, the Clemson orange is not the same as the Tennessee orange, but those are all three beautiful oranges, Miss Stacey.
I like David S. Pumpkin's orange. Sorry.
Apple. Okay, Apple.
Okay, Apple.
Apple. Headset.
Not oranges.
I think I'm suffering some brain. Okay, I think Stacey needs. So you watched the? We did a whole live stream of the event on Monday. Apple announced a lot of stuff. But I think you always are watching with an eye towards IoT and Apple's. They didn't mention HomeKit much.
So I watched it because I was like, if they launch a headset, I'm very curious because this has been marketed as the next generation of computing. And ultimately, I just care about computing, right? So Kevin and I watched it together. Sure, HomeKit, yes, we were definitely like, oh, do we care? Do we care? But we also watched it because, oh my God, was Apple going to actually do a headset and would it be compelling? And we thought, well, yes, they did. And it was compelling it was compelling. We'll throw out the caveats later, but okay. I was really excited by this. I really thought.
You will buy this $3,500 headset when it comes out next year?
I will not buy this when it comes out next year for $3,500.
Will you, Leo?
I might have to. I don't.
Miss Lisa has already said you have to, just so you know.
I know. Yeah. I will. It's nice to have a wife that makes you.
Yeah, she's already said it. I heard it with my own ears.
I want to buy it. I want to.
She's hoping that when you don't like it, you send it to her. That's what Stacey's hoping for.
They solved a lot of the issue. Like, there is a role for this sort of device in our lives, and if you take it for that role and not for. It is not an iPhone.
Okay.
It is probably more of an additional device like the watch and maybe even the HomePod, which we're not sure if it's ever going to be. But the watch is a success that we were first like, what the heck? But it's not a replacement for your phone.
Okay.
What it is, it's a device that will give you deep immersive entertainment. It's also a device that could really has the potential to change the way we work. And I think that's really compelling. And I also love the sensor integration. I think the work that Apple's doing there on low latency sensor integration on a computing device will be useful for robotics. It'll be mostly useful for robotics, but it'll also be useful for bringing a spatial computing that's like not limited to a headset, but for computing and sensor integration throughout our bodies, like devices on our bodies to a central device. So I think there's a lot of potential here.
But Miss Stacey, there's been a gazillion different headsets and things out there in these last couple of years. And I guess timing is everything. That's the difference now.
No, let's talk about what Apple did right. I think Apple did a couple things that really addressed some of the issues. So I've tried both the Oculus, I've tried the Magic Leap, I've tried the HoloLens. So those are the 4 headsets that I've had in my life. I have not tried this device. I hate virtual reality and I hate augmented reality a lot because I don't feel safe in it because I can't see my environment around me. So I thought the fact that it lets me see the environment around me and
but I thought AR did let you see.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
AR does. So the HoloLens does.
So did the Magic Leap. So did the Magic Leap.
Yes.
Magic Leap was the closest to this because you could go either direction. And,
right.
And Apple's got a little digital crown that lets you tune in or out the background, the real world.
And I think that's really compelling. That gives you a lot of power, is the ability to tune in and out.
Yeah, I did that.
And then it also gives, I think the context is pretty creepy. Like the little eyes, like the vision of my eyes is creepy. But it is also... that is a nice way to clue people into what's happening. And then the ability to actually do smaller gestures and not have additional hardware, I think is important.
That is cool.
And I also think this isn't something, I don't even think Apple wants you to wear this all the time. And I think that's really important.
Well, you can only do it 2 hours at a time according to their specs. So
yeah, 2 hours on that battery or all day plugged in or however long you want. This is not something you're going to see people walking around with it on their face.
Oh, Scoble will be.
So
I guarantee.
That's the difference?
Okay, yes.
Because, I mean, we got battery packs out there that cost nothing that you can throw in your pocket.
There may be one. I don't think normal people will walk around. 5 years from now, I don't think we're going to see people walking around with us on their face. I think this is going to be like the iPad in the sense like, it's a great entertainment consumption device, right? Yeah. And some people like it for work because it lets them bring their work to like their couch or someplace a little more comfortable.
And see,
I think this is a similar type of device.
And see, you're saying pretty much the same things that I was thinking the other day, because when it popped up on the screen, all I could think about was Google Daydream and how Google just totally ruined that because it was something from an entertainment standpoint I thought was quite good. It could have been a little bit more refined down the road and not necessarily require you to have your phone right there and heating up on your forehead. I'm sure Apple has figured all of that out from a heat dissipation and all of that stuff. But the whole immersion with entertainment, I thought that was brilliant. I used to love taking a break from work, just sitting in my workspace or whatever, and then take a little 10-minute break, grab the daydream, turn on Netflix and watch something and just totally forget about work for 15, 20 minutes.
I've already spoken about this on MacBreak Weekly and Windows Weekly. I don't want to inject myself into this, but you guys are full of crap.
All right, say more.
Look here. $3,000 is the problem.
No, that's not the problem. Because one thing people say is, oh, well, it's $3,000 a day or $3,500 a day, but in a couple of years it will be less and so forth. That's not the problem.
I get it's got
I have a fundamental.
Fascinating.
I think there's a fundamental flaw, and to me, I've seen many technologies with fundamental flaws flop, not because they, A+ on the technologies, A+ on execution, A+ on marketing. I'm sure they'll spend billions, literally billions, over the next 6 months marketing it.
That's what they do.
But but maybe I'm wrong. You tell me. I have this visceral reaction to strapping a computer or strapping a screen on my face.
Yes.
I don't think anybody wants to do that. I certainly don't. I've done it. You've done it. It's cool, but I don't want to do it. I don't like it.
It's not even that cool.
Normals.
I think
it's briefly cool.
I think you will strap a computer on your face for an immersive entertainment, like luxury or immersive entertainment experience. I really do. I think some of the things they presented are so compelling that you will not mind strapping a computer to your face.
I have a pretty good 4K TV, same resolution, by the way, as the Vision Pro, with an excellent sound system, and I can sit within about 6 feet of it, so it's pretty immersive. And I'm very happy about that. I can also look around and see my family.
Exactly.
So
I didn't want to see my family. I wanted to be isolated, and it did. I love that about this. It literally took me away for quiet time. I freaking
There are people who hate other people so much that they like the idea of isolating themselves, but I think it's kind of counter to what really humans want. I think that there's a visceral problem with this.
You're still going to hang out with your friends and you're still going to have the people reaction. But for something like in your house.
Yes, ma'am.
How do people watch TV? How does your family watch television?
About 8 feet away on the couch. Is that what you mean?
Okay. So no, like in my house, my husband will have an iPad and he'll watch his own thing.
Oh yeah. They're either on a phone or a tablet or separate televisions.
I sit next to my lovely wife every single night. I hold her hand. I rub her feet as we together watch a program. We'll pause it.
You're better than me, brother.
So maybe this isn't for you.
I don't want to sit with her.
I'm just saying. I think maybe there's people. Maybe 10, 20, 30, even 30% of the market that will do this. I'm not saying nobody will do it. I'm just saying
young people will love it.
Yeah, that's the good question, is maybe a younger generation doesn't have the same aversion I do. I don't think humans want to strap screens to their faces. No, and I think that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I'm going to say something surprising, which is the only use case that I can get out of all those things, you left one out, is Google Glass. As absurd as it is, augmented information to what I can see still makes sense to me.
I agree. Once the spectacles you're wearing right now, Jeff Jarvis, or the ones I wear when I'm not on TV, can have augmented reality, fantastic. I will pay $5,000 for that. I'm not against that idea.
Yeah.
There's a big leap from what we've got today to that. Many of those technologies are not existent.
So if
they ever will be. Furthermore, there's a real risk that just like the Segway, which was a great technology, but it was DOA because people said, you look like a dork on that thing. Yeah. If enough people go, ugh, I don't like it, it could kill the real valuable technology down the road, spectacles. If Apple says, geez, we spent $50 billion and nobody bought it, I ain't going to develop spectacles.
It's AR winter. I want to go ahead.
AR winter, I like that. AR winter.
Maybe if it was So you're saying if the Vision Pro was a quarter of the size, form factor wise,
if it was lightweight and it was like
cool
your
with that?
spectacles and you could see the world around it, yeah, but they can't do that. They can't even.
He doesn't want to watch a movie that way, Ant. That's not a way to watch a movie.
Well,
That's
it
a way
could
to get
be.
information.
You know, your glasses could darken, Jeff, and you could be watching 8K.
Yeah, now
movie.
you're getting close to that. I don't think I did it. Stacey, I want to hear your vision for work with the goggles. I don't get that.
Sure. So I was excited about this because I thought the fine resolution, the fact that I could start consuming more information and manipulating it was really compelling, because I deal with a lot of information in my day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I love the idea of
being able
having all
to
those
sit-
big screens, like 120-inch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when I'm sitting down to do like a finance story is a great example, because I need a lot of information in front of me. And instead of going back and forth, like having all of my relevant information while I'm sitting there, and I tend to write and then leave a lot of TKs to fill in. But if I had, and I do that because it's too distracting for me to go like find it. But if I can organize a story like that and then just sit there and be like, okay, it's $60 million a year. Okay. And this happened in 1942. Like, that's really compelling to me.
So let me
That's very
understand
niche, though.
It is niche, but there are lots of people who are trying to assimilate information.
I
So let's
understand.
talk about.
When I was in Rome and we were wandering around on the Forum and and on Nero's palace, and so forth, I thought, and I even said it out loud to our tour guide and to Lisa, probably the next time I come back, I will be wearing some sort of augmented reality device that lets me go switch back and forth between what I'm seeing right now and what it looked like 2,000 years ago.
It just can't look. It just can't look like a Vision Pro, is what you're saying.
Well, and it could look like a Vision Pro, and so I'm not saying there's no use for it at all. I mean, that would be cool, and I could see going up to the kiosk as I go towards the Palatine Hill and say, can I rent that for a day? Because that would be really cool. And so I agree with you, Stacey. There's some definite educational valuable, if you're going to train a mechanic, there's a lot of possible.
I
but
feel
these
like-
are all very niche. And I think in the long run aren't enough to sustain a market that Apple needs a big market for this to succeed.
Wasn't Fujitsu doing like AR stuff on the assembly line?
Yeah, we've seen this for years, for a decade.
Fujitsu, Hershey's, there's tons of actual AR on assembly lines. But first off, I used this on the show, and maybe this will help.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they talked about like capturing moments and stuff, that obviously think of this like your old school DSLR camera. So you had situations like maybe your trip to Rome where you would bring this in it when it comes to capturing memories, maybe when you like thinking about like, should I bring my headset on this trip? This is a device that you're going to bring with you consciously because you want the features it offers.
Okay.
And you're going to pick it up at decisive moments. You're going to make it. It's not like a casual thing like your smartphone where you're like, oh, cool picture, snap.
Okay.
It's going to be like, oh, they're about to bring the cake into this birthday party. Let me grab my camera.
I want to
grab
have
Dave's
spooky
computer
eyes and
capture
isolate
this.
myself from everybody. I want the kids to go,
But then it's the same thing with the camera to your face. And you're going to
this is
take it
far
off
worse.
after
It's
you
worse
do
than
it.
that, Miss
This is far
Stacey.
worse.
It's worse than that.
It's very isolating. I understand what
Stacey,
you're saying,
Stacey, let me
and I
understand.
may be completely wrong here. I mean, I stipulate that and I think we won't know for 5 years. 5 years from now, I may be wearing them on the show.
Okay,
This
long
may
bet,
also be
long
a
bet.
play of Apple saying, all right, we're going to put this out here. Yes, $3,500. We're probably not going to make a lot of money on it, but we're going to get a lot of feedback to figure out how we can refine this to make this into the iPhone 4.
Based on the
it
bill of
works so well for
materials,
Google Glass.
based on the bill of materials, I would guess Apple's not making a penny on these. That's the
Right.
first thing I understand. This probably costs them almost exactly what they're charging.
Right.
It's
That's a lot
amazing
of
stuff
tech
they
in
got.
that. It is.
There's 11
Okay, but
cameras. There's
think
7
about-
screens. It's a huge effort.
Mm.
And
12
not to
cameras.
mention 12 cameras. Sorry, and not to mention what must have been 10 years of sunk cost in developing it. I mean, this is a massive effort. And I'm wondering if Apple
but
thought
it's
this was a
not-
good idea, as we all did 5 years ago, and has
Do you
kind of the
believe
momentum
that-
made them put it out, because I don't think there's a market for it.
Yeah, sunk cost,
Do you believe
maybe,
that
right.
computing is going to be everywhere? That we're going to have smarter devices? So
It does
then
that
this
though by
is
disappearing,
valuable.
not by strapping it
yeah.
to
Hold
your
on,
face.
hold on.
Okay.
They designed the R1. This is a chip designed to deal at a low latency level with dozens of inputs from high-powered sensors.
It's a fancy
camera
DSP.
sensor data is it is a fancy DSP, but they now have this. So when you look at that development and developing an operating system for that and understanding just the drama that's going to come from like trying to deal with all of that signal coming in and managing it, that's valuable for them. That's going to be valuable even if this flops. And Apple knows, I mean, Apple builds stuff with an eye towards the future and everything. I mean, look at the fact that they're like focused on vision of all the stupid things for HealthKit because of this stupid device or because of this device. And I'm like, oh, okay, go Apple. Yeah. And I think if you think about like a future with an Apple Watch, think about the earbuds talking to something. You've got your phone on your body. Maybe you've got some health sensors that are like, maybe you're wearing a continuous glucose monitor. Imagine being able to take all of that data in, processing it locally and privately, and being able to, you know,
I'm not arguing against that at all. I completely agree with you. That will be great.
But this is not wasted development. No, but they are developing this to build. This is a device that they built that is using all.
If they can get there from here, that's great. And I'm sure that's what they're thinking.
It's like the pilot device.
But there's a lot of, you know.
Yeah.
What about
but again,
the
so was Google
these?
Glass.
What about
Glass.
How do you carry them? What about? I mean, there's all sorts of whatabouts. There's technologies that don't exist. I understand you need to take the first step. And so maybe this is just the first step. I think there's a great risk, though, that this first step is going to be such a horrendous experience for everybody that people don't take the second step. Apple might just pour hundreds of billions of dollars into this.
I don't think they're worried about
it,
considering
but you know
what they got in the bank.
They can afford it. They can afford
it. If you can find a technology to give you the AR glasses that you want, like the always-on, wear them forever glasses that might talk to your phone, people, even if this flops, people are still going to develop that.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
20 years from, it's going to be 20 years, though. That's the problem. It's really a long
So I have a
shot.
suggestion and a question. Jason, can you put in the rundown for a year from now that we play a little bit of this and see?
It won't be a year. It'll be.
Well, this
it'll be
device isn't going to be out till next year.
Believe me, I have been so outspoken on this that there will be many people who will post on the successor to Twitter the video of Leo saying these things are here. I'll give it to you right now.
It's going to take a couple of
Vision
years.
Pro, this sucks. No one's going to buy this. This is a product that's dead on arrival. Go ahead. Now you got it.
All right.
Just save that.
Well, somewhere there's my
15,
reboxing
26.
video of the iPad.
You know what? It really makes people mad for me to say this. So I apologize for, as I said, pissing in your cornflakes. But I think it's my responsibility as a tech journalist to say, what are you talking about? The emperor's is naked. Yeah. Naked. Yeah. I see his twig and berries swinging in the wind.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. It's my job to call him as I see him. Yeah. And you know what? I hope
That's
I'm wrong.
how you should be.
I hope I'm wrong. And I hope in 5 years I'm wearing spectacles that are full AR with earbuds in that are detecting my blood glucose. And, I pray that
we'll need new battery technology before we get there.
Problem.
Well, this is just a launch pad, right?
Yeah, but there's missing pieces.
This is a launch pad to get to that potential.
This is Project Mercury. You're launching an astronaut hoping that you're going to get to the moon in 10 years. We've done it.
Yeah.
Took an entire country and a huge national debt.
Apple has the resources of a country, a pretty good sized country.
Only Apple could do this. And we actually talked about that yesterday on MacBreak Weekly. This is something only a handful of companies could do. This is the argument for mass. This is the argument for massive, giant corporations, because no individual guy in his garage could create this.
No.
You needed a giant entity with lots of money.
From a Google standpoint, would Google be interested in partnering up with several different companies to try to compete with this?
I think we have already seen,
especially being in the information and data business.
Let me post a little image here of what I believe Android users are going to look like. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, did he take it down? Somebody sent me this this image. Oh, shoot. I should have kept it up. Never mind. Forget it. Oh, there was a great joke in here, but it's latency. Let me click it again and see if it comes up now. This is what Android users are going to look like in Vision Pro. Thank you, Adam Singer. It's a picture of Jim Carrey as the mask.
I get
the
it.
Big green face.
The green.
I'll tell you.
That is true.
I'll tell you honestly.
That is true.
As an Android user, this is an absolute ecosystem lock-in. To use Vision Pro, you scan your face with an iPhone.
Yep.
This is never ever going to be available to Android users. You will not be able to call an Android user, message,
and we're going to laugh.
And that's their prerogative. Apple,
I mean,
good on you, Apple.
This
that's
part of the benefit for Apple is this is massive ecosystem lock-in
for 10 people. Yeah. Who are already Apple fanatics anyway.
Well, that's why they could charge $3,500.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Scooter X, you do not scan your face with the Vision Pro. You should read the articles.
No,
the first thing
they
do is they scan your phone. Later, to create your avatar, you scan it with the Vision Pro. But in order to do the iris scan and stuff, they need you have to have a late model iPhone with the LiDAR on the front of it.
Yep.
Now, that may change when it comes out. Who knows what the requirements are? But think about it. Is Apple going to allow you...
Oh, no. I mean, look at what they did also just to screw over Android users. Like, I was like, oh, my little new contact poster will just be like, Stacey is lame. When I call someone with an iPhone, I'll be like, damn it, man.
The world will be a better place if you just would let go and let Apple.
Sure.
Oh, final thing I will say. The other benefit to this is the user interaction information that they're going to get. So the work they've done on gaze detection here is very compelling. I actually thought Google solely would be amazing for the gesture sensing, but they're using camera data. Yeah. That's fine. But that's going to be really important for what I would call true spatial computing, which is when the computing is actually all around you and you're trying to interact with that. But sure, they can call this face computing, spatial computing too. So I just want, like, in a real world of spatial computing, the user interaction data and work that they've done here is also going to come in super handy. That's all.
And I do want to say, I enjoy watching some stuff with my family together. We do have those moments.
Oh yeah, but you'll still
every now and
that.
then, like post Twig, sometimes I just need to decompress, and that usually means let me go to the den by myself, or let me go to the back porch with a cigar by myself. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. Sorry.
Let him be. Let Pa be. He's had a rough day. Just let him be.
Yeah, and you can do that now by just going into your man cave. Yeah, I mean, you've got to. I mean, those of we got to.
Many of us, many people do not have man caves. We're cramming people into smaller and smaller
I agree.
places.
This is not for the mass audience.
No,
this is for people who can afford to have a woman cave.
Yes.
I have a man cave and a woman
cave. It's called a she shed. It's called a she shed.
Oh, that's right.
I want a she shed. That's good.
I was supposed to build one a couple of years
ago.
Were
you?
That never happened.
So Queen Pruitt said, "Where's my she shed?"
Yeah, she wanted a she shed. It's funny you bring that up, Miss Stacey. I totally forgot about that.
Thanks a lot, Stacey. Now you got him in trouble. You're gonna watch this show and say, "Where's my she shed?" So say that 5 times fast.
Do you want to talk about UFOs?
I'll probably talk about it Friday on This Week in Space, but sure.
Yeah, I'm curious what Rod and Tarek will think of it. The whole thing is this unnamed Air Force guy said, I saw parts of dead ETs and parts of UFO technology at the when I was at the Air Force. They're hiding something from you. This comes up.
I go get a waffle.
Boy.
Yeah. I don't know. UFO whistleblower. Let's see. Should I get it from the New York?
We're talking about it. You should just do it.
Should I get it from the New York Post or the Fox News or News Nation? I got a choice of fine. U.S. collects intact UFOs as part of secret program. Oh, he's not unnamed. There he is, the Air Force whistleblower.
Showing his face.
He's an Air
and
Force
everything.
veteran and former intelligence official. claims the U.S. government has been collecting intact extraterrestrial aircraft for decades. David Charles
Former
Bruce.
intelligence is the operative.
He's only 36. Why isn't he still intelligent? He told News Nation he recently turned over, quote, proof, end quote, of the alleged covert program to Congress and the Inspector General of the intelligence community. These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles. Call it spacecraft, if you will. Non-human exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed. I don't know. I'm skeptical. Could be. I'm skeptical.
All I know is they come to my house, they're going to be like, yeah, no, we'll see y'all later. We want no part of this stuff. With these two dogs and these hard-headed kids, no, we want no part of it.
He says he's seen evidence of a secret crash retrieval program and alleges we've even retrieved bodies from other species. All according to News Nation and his interview with News Nation. I call on the United States Congress to stop hiding the truth. Oh, wait a minute. They're busy.
I hope he's wrong. But if he's not wrong, I'm glad I don't know anything about it.
There's no ETs. Can I tell you how far away the nearest habitable planet is? Can I just say, ask your buddies at This Week in Space. It's so far away.
A gazillion light
and I
years.
think we've proven that as a civilization evolves and becomes close to spacefaring, it destroys itself with pollution. And that's that. And I also think we're probably one of the few, if any, intelligent. I mean, it's hard to believe. Maybe it's just a weird coinkydink that we even exist.
But you don't know.
Put that in the same bucket as the tape of me saying the Vision Pro is DOA. I'll say it now. You can record this, put it on Twitter. There are no ETs. That's nuts. There's no...
So do your ET voice of the alien coming to look for Leo Laporte.
Leo, I'm here. Ouch. No, there's no aliens. There's no ETs. You know what? We're not going to Mars either. We better fix this planet or we're donezo in 100 years.
Look here.
Thank you very much.
If everybody wants to go to Mars, I'm fine with that too. But you're
going to stay here in your man cave.
Yeah, let me stay here.
Okay.
I'm fine. If you want to try
this is
to
your
get
plan,
there,
isn't it?
If you want to try to get there, have at it. But don't make it cost me anything. Just go.
That's good. Bye-bye.
Just go.
All the phone sanitizers, all the admin, all the PR reps, you just go. You go on. You go on. Yes, I know my auto warranty will expire without you. But you just go on and have yourself a good time. Let's take a little break. We're going to come back in a second. We got some more stories to talk about. But first, I want to show you. I'm so excited. My Brooklinen is here. My Brooklinen is here. Ooh, I've been waiting for this. Brooklinen. I love the name. Like Brooklyn, but with linen, right? Brooklinen is a home essentials company. Their mission, yes, I need a special device. This has my my face on it, so I know it's safe to use. Did you know I had this? A box opener with my own face on it. Brooklinen's mission is to provide you with hotel quality luxury linen delivered directly to your door at a fair price. Founded by a lovely husband and wife duo, Rich and Vicky. They founded about 8 years ago in 2014. Brooklinen has everything you need to live your most comfortable life. Easily upgrade your home with quality products and curated designs that will leave your guests swooning. Now, Micah decided he wanted the lightweight hotel quality ones. What did you order? Did you order some? You didn't get your Brooklinen yet?
Didn't order any.
Oh.
Not yet, anyway.
We offered it to you, didn't we? I thought we did. Brooklinen's been making a dream spaces reality for almost a decade. They're the obvious choice when making your home a home. We have lovely, comfy Brooklinen towels. I love them. I dried myself off today with a Brooklinen towel. If you're unsure to start, do what I did. Get a Brooklinen bundle. This is the bundle of sheets. So it'll save you time and money, whether you're outfitting a bedroom, a bathroom, or boat. A boat. Boats, or both, or all three. They're best-selling luxe sateen sheets. That's what these are. You want to feel them? I want to just have you feel these. They're the Luxe Soft, Smooth, Ultra Luxe pillowcases. I got the whole bundle, so I got sheets, pillowcases, the whole thing. Now, just rub that up against your bald pate and see how soft.
That feels good on my hands.
I know.
Oh, dude.
They just launched an organic collection with
Nice.
all organic cotton. Check out brooklinen.com to learn about their different styles of sheets and your perfect match. We even got the beautiful Luxe duvet cover that goes with the whole thing. So we got the whole,
Nice.
all you have to do is add a mattress and and you've got it, everything you need. brooklinen.com, all the different styles, all the different stuff. I have some beautiful, Lisa got them for me, I think an early Father's Day gift. Striped jammies. They're so cute.
Nice.
She says, you look like you escaped from San Quentin. Every occasion deserves a gift. So whether you're celebrating your favorite newlyweds, this really would be great for a shower, a wedding shower. Maybe if you've got, a homecoming gift for a first move, or just making it through the week. These days, making it through the week, you deserve something nice and soft. Wirecutter and Good Housekeeping are both awarded Brooklinen for their outstanding bedding. So they're winners. More than 100,000 5-star customer reviews. One reviewer said, oh, and this is important, right? I seem to get that wonderful sleeping temperature very quickly stay there throughout the night versus my older cotton sheet sets. Best sheets in the world, like butter, said another one. Like butter. Now, these, as I said, these are the Luxe. I think thread count is kind of BS. I'm not a big thread count guy, but I
was getting ready to say you didn't mention thread count, but it doesn't matter. I can feel it.
You can tell it's high thread count. I'm looking. Sometimes you can get, I have gotten in the past very expensive sheets from other companies with a very 600 thread count, and they're not great. I don't know what this thread count is, but it feels like it's as high as you can go, right? You can't, it's very soft and beautiful.
This is very nice.
These are the Luxe sheets, but as I said, Micah says, I sleep hot. I wanted something a little lighter.
Right.
So he got the lightweight sheets. Check out the sheets, the pillows, the towels. I swear by those. I love my towels. Bath rugs, totes, tops, robes, and more. What are you waiting for? Shop in-store or online. Yes, they have stores. You can go. At brooklinen.com. Gift yourself or your loved ones the rest they deserve.
Very nice.
BROOK. That's the Brook. LINEN. That's the linen. brooklinen.com. When you're there, there's the offer code TWIG, TWIG, for $20 off plus free shipping on orders of $100 or more. $20 off on orders of $100 or more. I've been holding on to these because I wanted to open them up for you on the show. And I am just so thrilled. And by the way, the other thing I love about these, they hold up really well when you wash them. So they don't wear out fast. brooklinen.com. Offer code is TWIG. TWIG. Oh, man. Can I just wear this for the rest of the show? And then if you punch me, at least I'll have something to...
You have a little cushion there now.
A little cushion. brooklinen.com/twig. I'm just going to put this around here.
No falling asleep.
This is like satin.
No falling asleep.
I love it.
You're going to get a little too comfortable.
I'm so comfy. So comfy.
Thank you, Brooklinen.
Thank you. brooklinen.com. Use the offer code TWIG. Hey, good news. Google Workspace users can now log in without a password thanks to passkeys. Jeff was so jealous.
Really? We can now?
Jeff was, well, I don't know.
Yep.
Jeff was so
I
jealous.
tried yesterday and couldn't.
Well, I went to Patrick Delahanty, our esteemed guy, and I don't know what he does, so I just call him our esteemed guy.
Yeah.
And I said, he's our Workspace admin, and I said, can you flip the switch? Not everybody's, I think we don't have it yet. Not everybody's got it.
Okay.
Paul Thurrott didn't have it yet.
Because I tried yesterday.
Yeah. Be patient. Your Workspace administrator has to enable it first.
Okay.
And then, we use Google Workspaces here. So then you'll be able to use passkeys, as we already do. Have you tried passkeys?
Yeah, I love it for my personal
stuff. I know, it's great. It's really great.
Remind everybody how they use a passkey.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No. So the whole idea is that your device, especially nowadays, modern smartphones with their biometrics, whether it's fingerprint or face recognition, sometimes iris recognition, these things are super secure devices. Mm-hmm. So the whole idea of passkeys is this becomes your authentication device. Your smartphone does. So when I go to google.com and I haven't logged in yet, it'll either, there's a couple of ways you can do this. It'll either by Bluetooth, communicate with my phone if I'm on a PC. If I'm on my phone, it doesn't have to, but if I'm on a PC, communicate with my phone. Say, is this Leo? Authenticate. And it is. I may have to authenticate on the phone, but I may not because if I'm already logged in and authenticated, it'll say, oh, no, he's Leo.
Yep, this him.
And then I don't need a password or anything, which is
Thank you.
Which is what is going on?
What's behind you? The aliens have arrived
What is
to take you
happening?
away, Leo.
Oh, man. E.T., get out from back there.
I told you there's no aliens. Is the DMX just collapsed? Did it just... Burke's working on it?
Oh, Mr.
No
Burke's
wonder.
up in the rafters.
What? Is he?
Yes, he is.
Don't go up there in the... Burke, get down from there. What are you, a monkey? All right. Hey, jeez Louise. All right. So what else? What others? Oh, good news for you, Jeff. You can finally play Minecraft on your Chromebook.
Oh, boy, I can't wait to do that. I have been waiting all my life.
You know what? Don't you be knocking Minecraft. It is now available for many late model Chromebooks. It has to be in the last 3 years. It is the Bedrock edition, not the Java edition. You actually can download it from the Play Store. A mere $20. That's a lifetime pass.
Not bad.
Yeah. You'll also get Android Minecraft at no extra cost. That's a $7 value. And if you already bought the game on Android, you can just get the Chromebook version for $13. So I like Minecraft.
Not my thing, but that's still pretty cool.
You know, we have a Minecraft Java server running in our club. In fact, I haven't. I know people have been asking.
Have you rebooted it?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
I've seen those messages from time to time.
Yeah, no, I have to, hey, you're not the only one putting effort into the club every once in a while. Let me just, here we go, SSH, Leo, let me just log into the server, see if everyth's up. Tmux attach. I can tell you. BN. Yep, the server's running. That's Michael's server. There's the Twitch server. And here's the survival server. That's a tough one. If you go in the survival server, you better be a good Minecraft player. 0011.
Wow.
Just left the game. Yeah, they're all up and running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're welcome, members.
I just checked. What else? I guess I was hoping.
Do you want to talk about air quality?
What is the air quality right now, Jeff, in beautiful Bedminster, New Jersey?
It was 437. It's down to 388. So I'm just going to take a deep breath.
Anything over 100 is risky, right? Stacey, what is the?
Oh, I thought it was like 250. It depends. It's different classes. So like babies and immunosuppressed people are at one level.
Men, you're trying to avoid saying that. Thank you.
What? Old men?
Oh, yeah. Actually, Jeff, probably you should be really careful. Come to think of it. According to the EPA, here's your AQI fact sheet for...
101 to 150 is unhealthy for sensitive groups, which you might be in.
I'm very sensitive.
Yeah.
Purple. So 301 is anything higher than 300 is hazardous to everybody. Like just everyone's going to be affected. You should not go outside.
Yeah. Anything over 150 is unhealthy, period. 200 is very unhealthy. 300 is hazardous. And your pets should be inside too. Do not let your pets.
I know that.
Yes.
But do they smell it? Do they know that? Oh crap! The wolf's on fire.
Birds were dropping out of the sky, in Washington State.
Yeah, that's why if canaries in the coal mines, they don't like bad air. Wow, I learned that from a miner friend of mine.
Leo.
So Stacey is an expert on all this, believe it or not.
Because I live in Washington State. You're probably an expert too, Leo.
We had to a couple of years ago when the wildfires hit Northern California. We were 6 miles away from one of the biggest fires in Sonoma County. And in fact, we had our go bags packed. It was so scary. And we had a backup plan for the studio in case it burned to the ground. And at that time, I got purple air sensors in the house because I want to know what the air quality inside was as well as outside the house.
I remember.
And the benefit of purple air is these are expensive. Like an outside air quality monitor is like $200.
Yeah.
But if you put it outside, you're actually contributing to the Purple Air network, which takes data from all of those sensors. And
that's how I can find out one that's 3 miles from me. Right.
Yeah. So there's actually one down the street from me, and air quality dramatically differs based on distance, based on all kinds of things. Like if you're at a lower elevation, you're going to have poorer air quality typically. So like I live on an island, and the air quality across the island can differ on the air quality index by like 50 or even 60 points sometimes.
Wow.
So outside, that's great, right? The Purple Air Quality Sensor. That data feeds into things like Google. Google on your displays has a AQI, Air Quality Index measurement. It has both a color and a number. And your color you're looking for is green or maybe yellow.
Jeff, you should stick with green. Being sickly and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And elderly.
Yellow it's acceptable. And if you're really sensitive, usually that's asthmatics. Okay. Or kids because they have developing lungs.
You know what? It's so awful. You don't want to go out. Now, I have to point out that the purple only measures particulate pollution, right?
Right. So let's talk about your inside. So that's measuring things outside and being a citizen scientist. Yay for you if you decide to do it.
Yeah.
But let's say you're just a normal person and life is just sucky and you're looking for a good air quality.
Well, and I wanted to know what it was like inside because we fled the outside because it was unsafe, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't getting in, right?
Yeah. So some things you need to know about, you need to close, like I was talking to somebody who had their windows open today.
Oh, close the windows.
Their area. And I was like, close your windows.
Normally fresh air is your friend, but if it's smoky outside, it's not. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Your air conditioner is going to pull in outside air. That's what your air filter's for. If you're having like wildfires, like we would change like when it was bad, we would change our air filters like every week and they needed it.
Yeah.
So you need to keep an eye on that. Not every 3 months. That is not like when it's this bad, you need to change them more often.
Is it visible? Is that you can look at it and it's yellow?
You can see, I mean, it's mucky.
We got, and I think maybe we got suckered. I was going to say that. But we had the guy come out and we bought a thing that goes on the furnace, on the heat pump, on the first/air conditioner that does some sort of static charge. And then we bought filters that are electrified. Mm-hmm. The idea being they ionize and as a result attract particles and do a better job than regular filters. I don't know, but at that point, I was just I like whatever we can do to be, because it's so
ionization it does help. And so once you're inside, so there are air quality monitors for indoors. Aware makes one. AirThings makes them. Amazon even has one. Usually, so for fire damage, you need to check for one that measures particulate matter.
PM
and not
2.5.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's your big, so because the big things they're going to monitor is temperature and humidity. Almost every single one will do that. Some of them will monitor carbon dioxide. And the idea is if carbon dioxide gets high, you want to open a window because it's going to make you sleepy, but not in the case of fires.
It's complicated.
Particulate matter and then VOCs.
Volatile organic compounds. Yeah.
And that's another open the window situation. But a lot of them don't measure VOCs or they won't measure particulate matter. So you really, in this case, look for particulate matter because that's what you're looking for.
And the 2.5 and PM 2.5 is the microns, the size of the particles. Okay.
They're very bad.
You can get PM 1.0. Those are going to be much more expensive, I think, because it's smaller particles.
Yes, and your filters may not tackle that. So these are just like warning systems, right? Now we're going to talk about filtration. So you got your filtration of your indoor air. I can tell you there's tons of great smart options that'll be like, oh, crap, your air is terrible. Boom, take it out. But what Leo's about to show you is the Coway. This is like my favorite air filter.
You know what? Really,
it's expensive.
It's funny when we had the fires out here. A lot of people made TikToks on how you can make your own HEPA filter, buy those furnace filters, and build a box around a fan and strap it in. But that's kind
you actually just need to.
That's what this is.
Yeah,
this is basically inside here. There's a physical filter which is capturing dog hairs and things like that. But inside the physical filter, there's a HEPA filter, which is just kind of a paper corrugated paper filter, and that's what's catching the we got to clean this. So,
and here's the next thing. So there's two things you need to know when you have these air filters. The Coway, most of them will have the Air Megas. I have an Air Mega that is also really good.
I have the Air Mega inside our house at home because that's a vast area.
It's a bigger room.
This has a little
You've got to wash that.
Yes.
Oh man,
I wash this, and this you replace. This is for smells. This is an activated charcoal.
You've got two filters there.
Yeah, and then
that peels off the back.
This is the HEPA filter,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I take this out,
you wash that screen one.
Looks just like a furnace filter, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. You replace that guy.
And the Coways have a reminder when to replace and all of that stuff. I think
is this the same stuff people were putting in because of COVID when we thought?
Yes. Well,
yes.
Yes. That's in fact
because virus particles are also they're smaller than the PM5, but the PM5s are what people were 2.5. Sorry, 2.5. So once you have these, so I have used the other important thing you need to know about this is these are sized for rooms. So if you have one running in your room, you need to close the door. So the Coway that Leo has is about what, would you say a 10 or 10 by 15 room, 10 by 10 room?
Yeah, it's probably too small for this room. I have one in my other studio. It's exactly the right size. And the Mega, which is a big cube, that'll do 600 square feet. That's a pretty big device. Yeah. I think this is 150 square feet.
Yeah. So you want to close off those areas if you can, and you want to sleep with that running. And a lot of them will have if you're buying one, you want to look for, some of them have a smart mode where it'll be like, oh, I detect problems. And then it'll go.
Yeah. We have that on all of these. Yeah.
And it's that doesn't mean internet connected. That's just a nice feature. And the other feature you want to look for is the ability to turn the LEDs off at night.
Yes.
So they'll have a sleep or night mode.
Yes, I agree. So this is good. We have Coways all over the place, and we're very happy with those. There is a secondary issue of ozone, which these things don't take care of. And some of these fires are so nasty, they're actually putting not only particulate matter in the air, but ozone in the air. And I don't know what you do for that. I really don't. So
you don't want to say? Well, don't you have something?
The
for
molecules help with ozone. They're really more for things, VOCs like formaldehyde. They're more for that kind of stuff. So I don't know how you get rid of ozone, to be honest with you. One of the problems with a lot of filters, and you should always look and see, is they put more ozone into the air than they take out. Sometimes it's a side effect of the filters. So, you want to be careful about that. And Wirecutter did a very good job, at least talking about these particular HEPA filters, and they recommended the Coways. So that's why we got Coways. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
or get yourself some Dyson face filter headphones. And if you wear them with a Vision Pro, you don't have to worry about people because they'll run when they see you.
Those doesn't work. I want to say I saw a story. Yeah. Someone tried those on a flight recently.
I know someone wandered around trying it, but I don't know where that is.
You know, it's funny because of COVID. I think we actually are better equipped for these kinds of, bad air condition situations.
Joe in Club Twit had actually a really good tip, one that I have not followed and because of my life. But his pro tip is if you're going to get multiple air purifiers, get the same brand so you can stock up on the same filters.
Oh, yes.
And your air purifier, y'all, is only as good as your filters. So they'll all give you a notification, say, hey, watch that screen. And that happens like every probably couple of weeks in my house. And then they'll be like, okay, it's time to change the filter. And that's what's filtering your air. So you actually do need to have those.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you go outside, N95, not a surgical mask.
Yeah.
Yep. But again, if there's ozone, and unfortunately the purple air doesn't tell you, but if there's ozone in the air, the N95 does nothing. Ugh. It doesn't help you at all. It goes right through it because it's really it's not even a particulate problem. It's just bad air.
Ugh.
I know it's problematic. I don't know. Here's a Insta from Yankee Stadium from MLB on Fox. It is nasty.
Looks pretty.
I hope the weather changes for y'all because it's awful, and you'll wake up in the morning and you'll see that really orange sun, and you're just going to be like, oh.
It feels apocalyptic, doesn't it? It's like
it does.
It's the end of the world.
I saw somebody on Blue Sky said, my wife is from Latin America, and the pictures of that sky is how they always depict Latin America in TV and movies, as if there's
interesting.
It's true, right?
U.S. has sued Coinbase and Binance. The SEC says these crypto exchanges are basically fraudulent. They are subject to SEC rules. They haven't registered. Coinbase said, wait, what? Hold on. We wanted you to tell us this a long time ago, but you refused. I saw Jim Cramer, not that I trust Jim Cramer, say,
he knows it all.
This is
about
the time to get out of cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's probably right. And then I don't know if you saw this Financial Times piece. It's unfortunately behind a paywall. The SEC is wrong about crypto exchanges. This is a guy named Robert Armstrong who says, no, he says, let's see. He says, I, on the other hand, can only die on the hill where I planted my flag back in November. Cryptocurrencies are not securities, and so the SEC should leave them alone. This, by the way, not based on a view that crypto has a special value that needs to be preserved. On the contrary, cryptocurrencies are dangerous nonsense. One the market can be trusted to kill before long. If this does not happen, cryptocurrencies should be regulated like smoking, gambling, or pyramid schemes.
Is that Leo Laporte or someone else?
Sounds like me, doesn't it? In either case, this stuff should not be granted the dignity of regulation under securities law. I kind of agree with them. They're not securities. They're magic.
Oh, but people are losing their shirts on it.
I know.
You can't just let people be.
No. I think the SEC is right to go after these guys. And I hope people take it, if they haven't already realized the danger of this stuff. And of course, just like all kinds of conspiracy theories and election denialism, the more people get cracked down on, the more they say, see governments, they want to preserve their fiat currency. They don't want this much better system.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that.
Yep.
I've seen a little bit of that.
So the SEC has sued Binance, the world's largest crypto trading platform, and now Coinbase, accusing the firm of mishandling customer funds, inflating trading volume on the site, and taking steps to evade U.S. regulation. In addition, yesterday, financial regulators from 10 states, including California, also filed legal actions alleging Coinbase was operating as an unregistered securities dealer. And I understand the FT's point that you shouldn't even think of it as a security. It's just gambling.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So, but you shouldn't regulate it then? Should there be more reason to regulate it?
Yeah. Well, but the problem is, I think he's worried that what will happen is there'll be a settlement between Coinbase and Binance and the SEC that says, we're securities.
I see.
And we're regulated as securities. We'll pay a big fine. And now we'll continue to operate now as regulated securities. And he's saying, no, they're not. Which I agree. They really shouldn't be thought of as securities. I don't know. I mean, is it more risky to invest, your $1,000 in Bitcoin than it is put your $1,000 in McDonald's stock?
In lotto tickets?
No, it's still.
Well, it's more like lotto tickets than McDonald's stock. But
yeah, I was like, McDonald's stock is infinitely safer.
Is it though? I mean,
yes.
Okay.
Yes, really, this is not a straw man you want to toss up, because McDonald's, they're regulated by the SEC. They have to follow GAAP accounting standards.
They're not going to lie to you.
They can't lie to you.
Not too much.
They
anyway.
can't obfuscate.
But the ice cream machine breaks down.
Yeah, they never have.
That is. Yes, McDonald's is infinitely more safe than
you're right.
that. Don't even ask that question.
I can't believe in them. If I can't walk in
McDonald's?
there and get ice cream.
Has McDonald's ever passed your lips?
Whenever I walk.
You're talking about the McFlurry machine.
Yes.
They're always broken.
Yeah.
Can't trust them. They can't keep that running.
So this is going to be...
It's a right to repair issue right there.
That's right. This is going to be really interesting. This story from Engadget says that Amazon is preparing to offer Prime subscribers free cell phone service.
Free or...
Okay, stop, because I have seen in all of my telco coverage, no one can find a carrier. Wireless operators are flat out denying this, as is Amazon.
According to Bloomberg, Scott Moritz, Matt Day, and Spencer Soper, the company's negotiating with Verizon, T-Mobile, and Dish to get the lowest possible wholesale prices. So they want to be an MVNO.
According to Reuters, T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T have all vehemently denied this. So,
okay.
Dish has not responded to Reuters for comment.
Yeah.
So, but AT&T says, I quote, AT&T is not in discussions with Amazon to resell wireless services.
And Amazon's
says,
spokesperson told Bloomberg, we don't have plans to add wireless at this time. They denied it as well.
What if this is a super micro situation?
Another Bloomberg MacGuffin. Could be. They never, they've never ever
did.
Nope.
Super micro. How long ago was that?
It was a couple of years ago.
I don't know, but it sticks in your brain because that was horrible.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Analysts say Prime membership has stagnated since Amazon boosted the price to $139 a year. That is a lot.
It's a lot, but at the same time,
100 million people
knows somebody that has Prime. And hey, can you order this on Prime for me?
Yeah.
Thanks.
According to consumer intelligence research partners, 167 million Amazon Prime members as of March.
I'm one of those poor suckers.
Amazon doesn't say, of course.
There's 360 million people, and that includes children and people who don't even know what Amazon is. How much bigger are they?
That's why growth is slowed. Everybody has one.
Everybody already has it.
I'm just saying that, like,
the shareholders are upset. Growth is horrible.
I don't know if I would switch, but that's got to be pretty compelling if you get free mobile phone service in addition. I mean, Amazon gives you a lot of benefits.
I guess it would depend on the truck, right? Like, depends on
if like they use T-Mobile or
Now, would I believe that Amazon is talking to wireless carriers about doing backup for like some sort of commercial, like IoT network or other, like addendum to AWS? 100%. But
Bloomberg says the carriers aren't really in a position to say no to Amazon because despite having poured billions into high-capacity 5G networks, they have little to show for the effort. They're looking for new ways to utilize those networks they spent so much money to build.
But if Amazon takes a customer, don't they lose that customer?
No.
Because Amazon pays them.
Yeah.
Understood. But
it's Amazon buys it at wholesale from one of these companies. It's an MVNO.
But it's not a net growth. The industry
growth.
doesn't grow as a result.
It is growth. No, it's just it's just a discounted growth. Instead of getting you as a retail customer, I'm getting Amazon and get a smaller amount of money per customer, but I'm still getting
If AT&T gets it, but Verizon doesn't, it's growth for AT&T.
Right.
That's what you're saying. Yeah,
well,
so
yes.
Everybody for themselves.
Well,
or
of
you
course.
could see now.
What did you think?
Business is
it's
business.
possible that Amazon could do, like, I do think Amazon is interested in providing some sort of wireless service for device companies. So, like, I could see them being an MVNO for, like, connected dog collars.
Yeah, maybe that's it, right?
So not necessarily just a carrier for.
Well, analysts are pointing out that Dish.
Phones.
Remember the whole T-Mobile Sprint deal the government required that they offload a lot of their stuff to Dish, Boost Mobile particularly, and that they would support Dish in creating because the regulators are concerned, well, now you're down to 3 big carriers. So T-Mobile said, no, we're going to make Dish the new 4th carrier, right? But Dish has a lot of debt. They're struggling a little bit. They still haven't launched Boost's Infinite Wireless
why not
service.
just buy them? Amazon.
Well, I think there might be regulatory issues there, too. I don't know.
Okay.
And who wants to buy anything from Charlie Ergen?
Dish is already working with Amazon, according to Bloomberg, whose AWS division is providing cloud computing to run the core network for its wireless service and is expected to start selling Boost Infinite Wireless service on Amazon as soon as next month. So maybe there is something there with Dish. They talked to one analyst who said this is perceived as a lifeline for Dish. For the 3 big carriers, Amazon's entry is troublesome. Yes, sure it is. Anyway, yeah, it's just a rumor still. It's from Bloomberg. Consider the source. I said Engadget earlier, but Engadget is quoting Bloomberg.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is great news. This actually is a cautionary tale. There's a Menlo Park, California company called Grail that sold a very expensive $950 blood test to detect cancer. Customers signed up. Grail inadvertently told about 400 of them, "You've got cancer." They didn't. The company said it sent a form letter to some customers who had bought its Gallery test, which detects a marker for more than 50 types of cancer, stating incorrectly that a cancer signal was detected. I don't know if that means you've got cancer or not. It means you might have this gene.
It means call your doctor and they'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
Because we can't.
A company spokesperson said
BRCA?
that the company blamed a vendor for the error, citing, this is good, a software configuration issue.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we had this mail merge, and we pushed the wrong letter.
I told them to use tabs, not spaces.
Yeah. They've started to contact the people who received the erroneous letters, but I think this is something.
Fines coming?
Keep in mind.
No fines?
Maybe it's nice to be like, you're going to die. No, you're not. Oh, okay,
good
cool.
news. We were wrong.
But the heart attack got me. In the meantime,
I think.
Did you see the Austria story, Leo?
No, what's that?
So Austria, because of a major party in Austria, I put it in the chat, elected the wrong head of the party because of an Excel error.
This was column C, not column B.
You put the parentheses around.
What a mistake. I'm so sorry. Okay. These things happen. What can we say?
Yeah.
This is from the Washington Post.
That's what you say? These things happen?
These things happen.
Told 1,000 people.
He just told people.
Happens.
A major Austrian opposition political party corrected the results of a closely contested leadership election after it announced the wrong winner. Someone had messed up an Excel spreadsheet. Hey, speaking of Excel, it's going to be, this would be a good time to do our Google Change Log.
How does that relate to Google Change Log?
Bard now can export to Google Sheets. How's that for a segue?
What a transition.
Bard has also added some features that will help you with programming. Actually, this was an interesting example. So you give it this prompt. The present population of a town is 3,888 people. What will be the expected population for the next 2 years and 5 years if the growth rate is 20% for 2 years and 30 for 5? Not only does it give you the answer, it shows you the formula. And even can write code, if you wish, to demonstrate, how you would do this in Python, for example. So this is interesting. In other words,
unlike ChatGPT, it can add.
Yeah. Well, I've seen people who've tried to get code written in Bard who've been said, ChatGPT, I can get the code, at least get the code to compile. It's close to accurate. Bard won't even compile.
Really?
So Bard has, I think, been laggard in this, but this is a new feature that Google's touting. Android 14 beta 3 is out. Customizable lock screen clocks and shortcuts, but you got to have a Pixel. Android TV 14 beta is out, and that means if you've got an Android TV, you will be ditching Android 13. So I don't understand, but okay. It
fills a slot in the changelog, and we just
that's all we care about. No, I'm confused because there's Google TV and there's Android TV, and the latest Chromecast is Google TV. But I have Android TV on,
and they killed Daydream.
It's just Google is so fragmented.
So confusing.
I don't understand. And I am the host of This Week in Google. So there. So whose fault is that?
A position you take very seriously.
You can tell, can't you? I'm really digging in here. Google Assistant has added 2 new voices. Lime and Indigo.
Oh, I wonder what they sound like.
Do you have one lying around? You have to access the assistant voice and speech output page and then make a selection. Or try this, Ant. Say, Hey, you know who? Change your voice. Go ahead. Just try it.
Hey, change your voice.
See if it'll do it.
Here's an example of one of my other voices. Would you like me to use this one?
Yeah.
No.
Here's another voice example. Would you like me to use this one?
Yes, please.
You prefer a female voice?
Yeah.
Great. I'll keep you.
Yeah. Pretty neat.
Was that Lime or Indigo?
That's
Did
a
it
good
say?
question. They didn't say their names.
You want to hear? I'll play
good
some.
They didn't say their names.
Let me play some Indigo for you. This is, let me make sure my
You
sound.
with.
Yeah, that was
example,
Indigo what I
There are
selected.
lots of things I can help you with. For example, you can say, set a timer, or play some music. To see more, just swipe the options on your screen.
It's very robotic.
There's something weird about it. I don't know what it is. And this is Lime.
There are lots of things I can help you with. For example, you can say, set a timer.
Oh,
or
that was
play
the
some
one.
music.
Yeah, so you just
To
heard
see
Lime and
more,
Indigo.
just
Yeah.
swipe the options on your screen.
So Lime,
I kind of like Lime.
I
would
love
do
Lime.
I kind of like that too.
Yeah, let me have Indigo. I
love
don't
it.
need my phone being too chatty with me like a person.
So good. So good. Google has started rolling out image generation in slides. That's, of course, an AI feature. And more.
Oh, they said they would.
Yeah, they said they would. And more Duet AI for Gmail and Docs. So if you want a giraffe standing in front of the Eiffel Tower in watercolor, you can get one in your slide. That's very, very inspirational. So,
As if PowerPoint wasn't bad enough.
Yeah.
Now it'll be worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Jeff, we're going to find something for you to be positive around. Hold on. Give me something to make Jeff feel positive.
Cacio Pepe.
Google now will roll out Cacio e Pepe generation in Google Sheets. Duet AI for Google Workspace Enterprise hits pre-order for businesses. And that's...
Duet still exists?
I know. The Google changelog.
I'm so confused.
Duet is the name of the AI.
So confused.
Now, that's all there is. Now...
Not Duo, Duet.
Not Duo, Duet. Google AI.
Oh, right.
Duet.
Priceline has announced they're going to use Google AI for their travel agent, their virtual travel agent. So you can say, oh, I want a New York hotel near a Christmas market. And it will then say, wow, you can easily find out that in Bryant Park, there's a Christmas market that runs from early November all the way through the beginning of January. Try the Cacio e
Stop
Pepe.
It has baked
Show me the
cheese
hotel.
house.
The baked cheese house is my favorite.
What?
It's the best part at Bryant Park's Christmas.
It is the best.
Yes.
It is the best.
And then you go next door and you get a little donut,
Oh, boy.
yeah, some hot cider.
hot cider, and then you roll your way home.
Okay. Please and thank you.
Baked cheese house. I'm telling you, people.
Baked.
As the
cheese.
t-shirt says, put a little cheeses in your life.
Is it
am a fan of
raclette? Is it a
cheeses.
raclette?
It's raclette.
Yeah.
Raclette, yeah.
It's just a little. They don't want to call it raclette because people might, think it's not. It's foreign.
Oh, my.
It's a big part of the. And
I've never
by the way,
seen
house
that.
is spelled like Haus.
Well, because it's German.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
house.
But
Swiss
Swiss
style raclettes.
By the way, I love the Bryant Park Christmas.
it is.
It's great. I love hanging out down there. Good food, good fun.
There's a picture of me with baked cheese house. I'll try to find it.
Is there?
Yeah, there's somewhere.
Probably shouldn't be eating baked cheese at your advanced age, but okay.
What should I look for?
Speaking of AI,
Yes, I found it. I found it.
Oh, put it in the chat.
Put
and
it
I'll
in chat.
I'll play
In
it.
Discord.
I'll play it. I'll do it.
Hold on.
Google.
How do I actually upload a photo? I don't even know how to do that.
Just do a link to it in Google Photo.
Well, it's not. It's in my Google Photo. Oh, I see. My Google Photos. I can do that. Okay. Yes. All right.
There
got
you
it.
go.
Got it. All right. Hold on.
Automatic, the company behind WordPress.com, has added, and this is going to really improve blogging from the company that runs almost half of all the websites in the world. An AI assistant that will just, write your blog for you. Fantastic. The company said the assistant easily integrates with WordPress.com and all Jetpack-powered sites. When you're writing a post or a page, you can add an AI assistant block to your content. Users can then type in a prompt. Oh, Oh, you don't do it. Your users do. Type in a prompt in a natural language in the AI assistant.
Oh.
Why will they go to your blog to generate AI content?
Oh, my husband would say because I am way too wordy. He's like, Stacey, just give it to me as a bulleted list. I'm like, my God, man.
Wow. I think your husband is rude. He should be nicer.
What's the difference between this versus what CNET and Red Ventures were saying?
Well, by the way, that's also in the news. CNET has said it's got new guidelines for AI journalism, to which the Writers Union said, no, you don't.
Was it journalism in quotes?
Yeah.
As you may remember, CNET got in a little bit of trouble because about 70 articles were written by an AI. They didn't disclose it. And worse, the articles, which were mostly written for their personal finance section, were often wrong.
I think I've got a new law. I've got a regulation. You know, I'm not big on regulation. I think it is all AI text must be produced in Comic Sans. Then everything will be okay.
Okay.
We'll know it. Yeah.
Okay. Then it would become
my
like just
cheese
goofy.
sandwich is up on the Discord.
There is Jeff eating melted cheese in a sandwich. This is wrong on so many levels.
That's, man, I need that.
It's so
Do
good.
they have Cornichons in there? Is that
yeah.
what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Little pickled
yeah.
onions.
Man, I need that.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
That's why there are no fat Swiss people. They're all dead.
Easing down. yeah.
Raclette is a great tradition for the new year.
Oh,
I think everybody should have more cheese in their life. There are two broad categories of pursuits where CNET's responsible AI machine partner, RAMP, will be deployed. The first, which CNET calls organizing large amounts of information. Actually, AI is very good at that, right?
yep.
Provides an example that seems more authorial, though, than that umbrella descriptor lets on. This is in gadget writing. RAMP will help us sort things like pricing and availability data and present it in a way that tailors information to certain audiences. Without AI, this volume of work wouldn't be possible. This customization wouldn't be possible.
But that makes sense. They're using AI for prep, not necessarily to
As it should be. And they'll always have a human associated with the article. CNET's Media Workers Union said the new AI policy at CNET affects workers. Before the tool rolls out, our union looks forward. I look forward, Mr. Pruitt, to negotiating in my office, Mr. Pruitt, how and what data is retrieved, a regular role in testing and reevaluating tool, right to opt out and remove bylines, a voice to ensure.
How many times a day you may hit me in the arm?
All right.
Oh, that reminds me. What happened with the Writers Guild?
Still on strike.
What's still going on?
And now
and others are joining. Actors may next.
Actors are next.
Ooh.
If you don't have any writers and you don't have any actors, what do you got? Podcasts.
Yeah.
Boom.
CNET's new guide. Let's see. Google. iHeartMedia says don't use ChatGPT. Joining a long list of companies, including Apple, by the way, that won't let their employees use ChatGPT. And then there's the Wall Street Journal article about a chat bot designed to help prevent eating disorders. The National Eating Disorders Association created a bot and replaced, of course, their operators on their hotline.
Thoughts?
With the bot.
Well, this story is a mess.
It is a mess. Thank you.
This story is like the reporting is all over the place. It's clear that someone is not telling the whole truth on the timeline. But they started out with a traditional chatbot that had a flow chart, like set of predetermined answers.
Yep.
At some point, it added generative AI, but it's unclear if they did that before or after they shut down their hotline. And they shut down their hotline because people were waiting too long.
7 days.
And probably,
yeah. They said this is, it's not like, it's just an informational line. It's not a crisis line.
Okay.
So, but still 7 days. If you're looking for help in your eating disorder, it's way too long. Way too long.
So it feels like this is not a simple, like, they fired all their workers because AI was awesome and then AI is messed up. What they had was they had a bad chatbot, or they had a chatbot. And then they had a really slow hotline. So they fired the hotline people because they were like, it's no good to anyone. Somewhere in that time lane, they also took their chatbot and added generative AI. And then the generative AI started promoting things that is not good for people who have eating disorders. Like,
yikes.
Hey, you should count your calories, which if you have an eating disorder, it's not great.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It was a very confusing story. There is a paragraph way down that says interest surged on the hotline because over Memorial Day, they had 600% increase in volume after news reports said that NIDA was using Tessa to replace the humans who were in the process of trying to form a union. However, NIDA says, no, that's not what happened. We decided to shut down the helpline after a 3-year review from our board of directors because of increasing risk factors and overwhelming demand causing long waits.
Well, how well did that work out for you then?
That didn't work either. But clearly the AI chatbot was a very bad idea.
Yeah. Keep AI chats away from facts.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. That's right. But again, I agree with you, Stacey. Very unclear article. I couldn't figure out what happened really.
And you don't want AI around. I mean, mental health is pretty nuanced. So if you want to do it like as a screening mechanism, sure, but you can't actually deliver quality mental health through. And I know that everyone wants that to be scalable because how awesome would it be to have mental health be scalable? But even working with a therapist, it's not scalable. You're going to go in fits and starts. So tech solutionism does it again.
Do you want to talk about
There's
Jeff?
More AI below.
Yeah, no, I see it. Do you want to talk about archive.org? AI killing the Internet Archive with love.
So just that poor archive.org has said we've gotten hit with all these requests, and they realize what it is it's people putting together training sets for their AI. And they're just saying, guys, can you just spread it out a little bit? We love you, but
this is Brewster Kahle writing, ended last month. Tens of thousands of requests per second for our public domain OCR files were launched from 64 virtual hosts on Amazon's AWS. The activity brought us down for everybody for about an hour. Engineers scrambled on a Sunday afternoon on Memorial Day weekend to work on this. We got the service back up by blocking those addresses, but another 64 addresses started the same activity. A couple hours later, we figured out how to block the new set. He says, finally, if you're starting a large project, please email info@archive.org, because while we want to help you, we don't have the bandwidth. Gosh, I love it. Archive.org. I give them money every month. I got to give them more. That's all I could say.
You don't want to talk about the Andreessen essay?
Sure. Mark Andreessen says AI.
I didn't read it.
Yeah, I don't believe anything Mark says, but AI will save the world. Mark, by the way, a venture capitalist with Andreessen Horowitz, who has been promoting Web3. Among other things, as kind of an axe to grind.
So I tweeted, I actually read the whole thing, so you don't have to.
Thank you.
And he starts off with ridiculous bromides, like,
AI can make everything we care about better.
Right. And then he goes on about how we're all going to have these wonderful assistants. Every child will have an AI tutor. Every person will have an AI coach or mentor.
No.
Every scientist will have one. No. What he does, it's interesting in here. Get ready, Ant. Get ready.
Oh, I can't.
Moral panic.
Moral panic.
There we go.
There we
Bad feeling about this.
I love that.
Thank you, Mr. Benito.
That one you have to see in the video. That's a head of Jeff floating through a sign that says moral panic, saying, I've got a bad feeling about this.
So what he goes on, he says that there are the religious people who are saying AI has bad for us. He calls the AI boys who are saying it's going to kill everybody bootleggers because they're trying to promote themselves.
Yes,
and it goes through that.
He's right there. He's right there.
Absolutely right. And then he goes to the risks. Will AI kill us? No. Will it ruin society? No. Will it take all the jobs? No. And he has backup for that. Some of that. Will it lead to crippling inequality? Well, we can debate about that because it's just capitalism. Will it lead to bad people doing bad things? Yes, it will. Okay. And then he goes on. Then his final shtick is what's to be done. Well, this is amusing because it's a BC libertarian saying, well, don't regulate AI, don't do regulatory capture, allow open source. And I agree with that because we're going to have more competition. I think we need more competition. I think that's true. And what we see happening in Europe is they're going to try to regulate the hell out of it and stop AI from being open source, which I also agree would be a mistake. So I said nice things about it on Twitter, but of course he can't see it because he blocks me.
Yeah. No, you know what? I take back what I said because he's in this case, I agree with everything he said.
I do too, actually. Yeah, almost. But there is a little bluster in it about how it's going to change all of our lives and save the world. It's not going to do that. It occurred to me too that it's the problem of using the word intelligence with this stuff. It anthropomorphizes it from the start. It's not intelligence. It's an augmenting thing to help us do what we want to do. And it will be more efficient and it will gain knowledge with all kinds of things. It will do neat stuff, but it's not going to change. It's not going to save the world, nor is it going to destroy the world.
I think we should have a new segment on the show called Bromide and Bluster. I really like that.
That's a show title.
That's really good. If you get past the bromides and ignore the bluster, what he's saying is actually, I think, a pretty good prescription for how we should treat AI going forward. Yeah, I agree. Okay.
The bromide was human intelligence makes a very broad range of life outcomes better. No. Poop. The bluster. Every person will have an AI assistant, coach, mentor, trainer, advisor, therapist that is infinitely patient, infinitely compassionate, infinitely knowledgeable, and infinitely helpful.
If you believe that, then you should go to this April Fool's Substack, The State of AI, written by an AI.
By AI.
And read that, I dare you, for a few weeks. And you will
wait. Go to that first. Go down a little bit, Leo, because the paragraph just amused the hell out of me. Well, right there, the last sentence there. Fasten your seatbelts for an insightful, engaging, and potentially worrisome ride. But the thing is, Leo, that paper, Natural Selection Favors AIs Over Humans, that's a real paper.
Oh.
And I read it, and it's ridiculous. Like out of this long-termism thing, that AIs are going to become their own bodies, and then they're going to compete with each other, and it's Darwin time. It's daffy digital Darwin that the most powerful AI will survive over all the others.
Yeah.
I do like this. In short, anything that people do with their natural intelligence today can be done much better with AI, and we will be able to take on new challenges that have been impossible to tackle without AI.
Yeah. Open AI.
Some things people could have, but not all.
Not all.
I mean,
no, not all. But yeah.
This will be an interesting lawsuit. OpenAI is being sued because ChatGPT accused a guy of embezzlement.
Whoops.
When a journalist for an online
ChatGPT can be made to say anything, so people are going to think they can sue OpenAI. It's just ludicrous.
Yeah,
but it'll be happening. That's life. Is ludicrous.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean. Yeah. Don't believe everything you read when ChatGPT says it. We now have a new CEO at Twitter. Linda Yaccarino has taken over. She took over on Monday, and everything's so much better now. So thank you, Linda, and bye-bye, Elon.
Okay.
She's really not the CEO, can I just say? She's probably just really, in normal times, would be, her title would be head of sales, ad sales, right?
Well, that's what they need.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ad sales plunged 59%, according to the New York Times.
So she's not a Sheryl Sandberg to his Zuck?
I don't think so.
No. And they just handed over, as you can see in your feed, the last 2 weeks, there was a story. We had a story in the rundown last week that they've handed over most of their ad inventory to programmatic.
Right.
So there's crap about toilet cleaning and that kind of stuff. The ads are awful. I bet if Leo went to Twitter, he'd be selling him mushrooms.
Let me see.
And let's see.
The problem is, and it really bugs me about Twitter, is they really need to put the promoted at the top of the tweet. Because you don't know until you get to the bottom of there's a nice AuntPruitt.com/beer.
I thought that was an ad because it's so well produced.
Yeah. Yes. I'm looking for ads.
I've got Cohere AI. I've got Wall Street Journal subscription. I have got...
I don't have any ads. Maybe it'll be only in following.
I have Outlander.
Outlander the show?
They know
the
I'm a
TV show?
woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Women love Outlander. Actually,
My
I
dad
read
loves Outlander.
I did too. I read the whole Diana Gabaldon novel that's this thick, and I loved it. The TV show was okay, but I really liked the novel. I like time travel.
Oh, I have a dog pool. This is fun. A sprinkler pool for my dog. I'm down, but that does feel a little Sky Mall.
Why am I getting no
retractable
ads?
fountain pen?
They somehow know. They somehow know that I am showing this on the air, and I don't. Suddenly, because all I got was ads before.
Mine's all right.
Oh, Messi is signing with Miami.
Okay.
That's a big story. Messi was going back and forth between, I think it was a Premier League team and an MLS team, and he's going with MLS. There was rumors that Apple would actually have to share of revenue to Messi just because they're, of course, broadcasting MLS. But getting Messi's huge.
That's big. Okay.
Getting Messi's huge.
One of my students, one of my former students, now one of our teachers, covers soccer for ESPN. And there was a faculty meeting this morning. He said, "Sorry, I got to go. Messi owns my life now."
Right.
You know what? I have no ads in my Twitter feed at all, which makes me think they really are suffering.
I have a thing that's going to correct my posture.
Maybe I have a blocker running.
Oh, I got that earlier today.
Yeah,
let me turn. You know what?
Kind of tempting, don't you think, Stacey? Kind of look.
What'd you say? Your posture's lovely, Jeff.
No,
Mine,
not.
on the other hand, right now is terrible because my migraine is killing my muscles.
I'll bet.
Oh, well, let's get this over with then. We're going to take a break.
Oh, no.
Let's stay another hour.
Ooh, new camera for
sorry. Today I didn't want to be the person complaining because I have a reason to complain.
Yeah, we're trying.
When I don't have a reason.
We're trying to rehabilitate Stacey's point of view.
We are
a rep, right? We're trying to because you last week you said, and I think this is true. You have now become pigeonholed as that waffle eating, complaining,
own it,
always ready to go home,
own it,
host, and you're not. I know you're not. You're just playing it up, and so we're going to rehabilitate Stacey's image. She's going to become the Della Street of this show.
Della Street.
If we start talking media again,
Della
she's going to become that person.
Della Street.
And by the way, he's Paul Drake. Jeff's Paul Drake. We're talking Perry Mason, and I'm Perry Mason.
Yeah, there are three people.
Oh, okay. You're making me a secretary?
Black and white
No. She's not. She's not a secretary. She sits next to Perry at the table of the attorneys, and she comes up with some of the best stuff. Actually, in the new Amazon Prime Perry Mason, she's even more important.
I would be running that table.
Yeah, she is. Here's the virtual camera. This is just, I think,
stupid.
Oh, this is so fun.
I think it's a conceptual, though. I don't think they plan to sell it. The Paragraphica.
Oh, yeah.
The idea is it's a camera. It doesn't have a lens. It's really just a little computer. You enter in a prompt while pointing. It has a GPS, I guess. Well, while pointing it, and then it will generate a artificial reality picture of what you're actually taking a picture of. So you see, he's trying different things. He wants to set.
And can get rid of all of his cameras. And
Look at this, and it does an AI graphic of where you are.
The thing is, though, you don't even have to go outside. Just go write your prompt in whatever generative AI that you're using now.
Yeah,
it'll give you the
That's
same
true.
thing.
I could do that right now, couldn't I?
But this is like one of those fun little hardware projects that we all love.
It's also a comment on it's a comment on AI photography, real life. I mean, it's kind of a commentary, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of. I like it. It's art. It is. It's really what it is. Paragraphica. You can. It's a. I'm not going to give out the URL because I can't even. This is some Danish guy.
Yeah, it was in my feeds, and I was like, no thanks.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if you could buy it.
I put it in there to harass you.
No,
next week, I'll look for some musicals for you instead, Ants.
Wait a minute. Like that. I was supposed to find your special pick of the week. Dang it. Oh, we'll get to that.
So actually, you can try it. Press the trigger to take a photo of your location. It has to know where no location services are blocked right now, I guess. But if it knows where you are, you can actually do it on the web, which is cool. That's neat. It's just it's an art project.
Yeah.
Our show today, we'll be right back with our picks of the week. Our show today brought to you by the great folks at Cisco Meraki. They are the experts in cloud-based networking from hybrid work. Whether your employees are working at home, at a cabin in the mountains, or in a lounge chair at the beach, a cloud-managed network is designed to provide the same exceptional work experience. Doesn't matter where they are, whether they're in the office or not. And by the way, you might as well roll out the welcome mat because hybrid work is here to stay. Hybrid work, though, works best in the cloud, and it literally does have perks for both employees and leaders. Workers love it, right? They can move faster. They can give you better results as long as they've got that cloud-managed network so everybody's on the same page. Leaders like it because they can automate distributed operations, build more sustainable workspaces, proactively protect the network. Actually, that's really important. Meraki commissioned an IDG Market Pulse research report, highlighting the top-tier opportunities in supporting hybrid work. First of all, good to know, hybrid work a priority for 78% of C-suite executives. Leaders want to drive collaboration forward, but they also need to stay on top of or even boost productivity and security, and that's one of the big challenges. The IDG report raises the red flag about security, noting that 48% of leaders report cybersecurity threats are the number one obstacle to improving workforce experiences. So that's where you turn to Cisco Meraki for always-on security monitoring, part of what makes the cloud-managed network so awesome. IT can use apps from Meraki's vast ecosystem of partners, turnkey solutions built to work seamlessly with the Meraki cloud platform. They can do things like asset tracking and location analytics. You can gather insights on how people are using the workspace, right? In fact, in a smart workspace, environmental sensors can track activity and occupancy levels, stay on top of cleanliness. You can reserve workspaces based on vacancy and employee profiles, so you can efficiently hot desk. Employees can quickly scout out a place to work. And if, by the way, you have restricted environments, get the employees to book in advance and then include time-based door access so they can only get in during that period of time. You also get mobile device management, too, as well, integrating devices and systems, which means IT can manage, update, and troubleshoot company-owned devices, even if the device and the employee are elsewhere, at the coffee shop, on the beach. You can turn any space into a place of productivity. And these days, you got to look at this. Empower your organization with the same exceptional experience no matter where your workers are. With Meraki and the Cisco suite of technology, learn how your organization can make hybrid work. Visit meraki.cisco.com/twit. That's meraki.cisco.com/twit. I always feel a little guilty when I'm talking about that because we made you all come back to work.
Yeah, you started talking about hot desking, and
I'm not going to hot desk you. You got your own desk. I really have mixed feelings about this, but I decided I missed having everybody here, and I think we as a group it didn't quite work as well. I wasn't worried about productivity, but I think there is something that happens when everybody's in the same space, and I know that's been a little hard for people to kind of get used to it, but I think
getting used to seeing you again. Yeah.
Well, for instance, we had editorial meetings. They used to all be on Zoom. Now we're all in the same room.
Yeah, we're all in the same room.
I think they're much more effective. Are
you doing all every day back, or is there a portion?
One thing that we did do, Lisa in her infinite wisdom made everybody do 4-day work weeks. So everybody's got a 3-day weekend, or whatever that days those would be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that 4 days a week you come in. We have, I don't know. I just think it's the right way to go. I apologize if you hated Ant.
I get in, get it done.
You're the one who wanted to get away from the family.
That's what my home studio's for.
Oh, sorry, Ant.
Where's his man cave here?
I still have a welt on my arm from having him work here, so maybe you should go home.
You're going to regret this report. Yep.
At least that's a perk right there.
Oh, it is.
Ow. Stacey, what's your thing this week?
You know what? I'm going to help y'all out if y'all care.
I care.
If you're worried about your indoor air quality,
I am.
The Aware Element for $209 measures all 5 of the things I told you it would measure, which if you care about carbon dioxide, VOCs, particulate matter at 2.5, humidity and temperature. This particular one is one of the only ones on the market that measures all of those things. And it's $209, which feels like a lot. Amazon does have one that's about $70, but it does not measure VOCs. And I don't think it measures carbon dioxide. I think it measures carbon monoxide. So
I have,
carbon
of course,
monoxide
by law, we have
kills you.
to have carbon monoxide detectors in the house.
Yeah.
And I do. And yeah, you definitely want that. Actually, we had a furnace guys come in, check the furnace. He said, you have a big hole in your flue.
And your what?
With an exhaust for the furnace.
Oh.
And I said, we have carbon monoxide detectors. How come they didn't go off? So now I'm worried that we got to.
So he sold you some new carbon monoxide detectors?
No, he sold us a new
Stop
flue.
having people come to your house, man.
He said, I'm going to tape it up with duct tape. I said, you know what? Can you give me a new flue? It was in the garage, but that's where the carbon monoxide detector is.
Oh boy.
Anyway, what's the brand name? What do you recommend?
Okay. So this is the Aware is the brand name, and their software is some of my favorite software for this. I used to have the Aware Glow, which was fun. Now, if you're like, Stacey, that's way too much money and it doesn't actually clean my air, I have another $200 option for you that's really good. And this is the 3M Filtrete Smart Air Purifier and Air Quality Monitor.
Ooh.
Now, the $199.99 one is going to get your rooms up to 310 square feet. So that's going to clean larger rooms. You will have to replace the filter with the 3M HEPA filters, but those are actually really good filters. And this is not going to tell you things like VOCs or carbon dioxide or monoxide, really, but it will tell you particulate matter. And I think it tells you humidity. Most air purifiers, if they're running on the higher settings, they're pretty loud. So this one is kind of loud on the higher settings. So if your air is really dirty, you're going to hear this. But that's the same thing for my Air Mega. I think the Coway is probably the quietest one I own.
Yeah, we have the Coways running right next to our microphones, and you don't hear them unless it suddenly says, oh, and it goes up to high, and then you're
yes,
gonna hear it.
And the 3M's quiet when it's not. But the nice thing about this one is it has a display on the top that tells you the index, and then it also gives you like a green, a red, or
that's cool.
Purple light.
And it ties to your smartphone as well, so you can see it on your smartphone. Yeah,
and it'll tell you it'll give you the battery information, the filter change information, and that sort of thing. So I've run those, and they're good. They do clean the air, and they have screen filters that help. If you keep those washed, that helps trap more particulates before it gets to your filter.
That was that thing we showed you on the Coway as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
Cool.
Filtrete.
Those are my things.
The Aware is AWAIR, the Aware Glow, and the Filtrete Smart Room Purifier.
Not the Aware Glow. It's the Aware Element that does all 5.
Oh, you like the Aware Element.
I had they don't make the Aware Glow anymore, and they don't support it anymore.
Okay.
But I did love that thing.
Oh, this one looks cool. It kind of looks like a little speaker.
Yeah, it's not. But
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
That's a little thing little design element there.
Yeah.
But good stuff.
Jeff Jarvis, how about a number of the week?
Well, I think given you've made all of your people come back to the office, I'm going to make you feel bad and weird. Because Castle,
what's new, buddy? What's new?
Castle, which is I think does work in office stuff and all those things. They have a regular back to work barometer. The 10-city average of office occupancy is 47.6%. If you scroll up, you'll get there.
You will definitely see that in San Francisco. It's just like a
San Francisco's down to 42%.
Yeah. Did you see the Hilton, which is the biggest hotel in San Francisco? They just walked away.
Yeah.
Declared bankruptcy.
Take it.
Sorry.
That's scary.
That's really scary. That's 3,000 rooms.
2 hotels they did it with.
Yeah, actually they did it with another hotel as well.
So San Francisco occupancy is down to 42.7. San Jose occupancy is down to 37. That's probably because Google took everybody out to rebuild it.
San Jose has always felt like kind of the city that everybody left.
Sort of forgotten.
Yeah. It's always felt that way, but it's really
well, it's so much better
now.
than when I used to live there. It's way better a place than when I was there, but still, it is a deserted field. Yeah. Austin and Houston are relatively high. Austin has 56%, Houston 57%, 58%.
Wow.
But yeah, average is 47.6%, 10 city occupancy, less than half, which makes me worry a little bit about the coming real estate crash, because a lot of those are leases that are still on and the buildings are still getting paid. When those leases come up, ain't nobody going to want them.
Unfortunately, a lot of those people are complaining about the crime and homelessness that's happening in those areas too.
Yep.
Certainly downtown San Francisco is hard to work there because you got to wade through, a fentanyl market and an outdoor privy, and it's just not pleasant. But now there's Hilton and Park 55, both
or 55, right?
Closing in San Francisco, just walking away, ceasing payments on hotel properties. They're going bankrupt, and say, let the creditors have them.
I had a friend who was in San Francisco last week going to a conference, and he came out of the hotel that's across Moscone, that big one. And instead of turning right on 5th Street, he turned left on 5th Street.
Oh, yeah. Fifth is really bad.
And went way down. And at some point, the cops came up to him and said, what are you doing here? They get in the back.
Really?
Yes.
Holy cow. So there's a Michelin 2-star restaurant.
Shot.
Yeah, there used to be. Maybe it's not there anymore, but there was a Michelin 2-star restaurant on 5th. Lisa and I went down there, and it was like, we're never going back here again. The restaurant was amazing, but she walked a block away, where we parked a few blocks away, literally 50 feet from the front door. Some guy's defecating in the street. That really kind of puts you off your food.
Fifth is where I used to work at the Examiner.
Yeah, it's across the street from the old Chronicle building. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's very sad. But I was mad when I saw the CNN Anderson Cooper San Francisco is dying thing. But at the same time, it's hard to deny that there's trouble.
Yep.
What's interesting in New York is if you Midtown New York, 7th Avenue, every restaurant and every business is closing down. You go to Brooklyn because it's a residential area.
Right.
Brooklyn's awesome. Brooklyn's awesome.
Right?
Well, and that's true of San Francisco too. There are certain, the Fifth and Mission, don't go there.
All right.
But there are, there's lots of districts, Twin Peaks and so forth that are fun, going great, safe.
Tiburon area.
Well, Tiburon's not San Francisco, but yeah, Tiburon. That's where the rich people go.
Tiburon.
That's quite nice. That's for the rich folk.
That is quite nice.
That's where you have the Brooklynans in your yacht.
Yeah.
I was like, I used to spend a lot of time in Tiburon, and it was lovely.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
It's Stacey Bougie approved.
So I think part of it is these vacancies.
Stacey Bougie.
There's also, San Francisco's problem is also because of a fentanyl crisis. There's a really big problem with fentanyl. Massive.
Well,
addiction.
there's a problem with income inequality and the ability to afford housing. And once you're homeless, that sucks so bad. Why wouldn't you do fentanyl? Because
might as well. Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Oh, it's sad. It really makes me sad. For the people as much as anything, we got to figure this out.
City. It was a wonderful place. And I'm not saying it's dead. It's still a great city.
Anthony Nielsen says Mission District still vibrant and happening. And I love the Mission.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go far from the Mission, less than a mile. And, it's bad news.
Like the
saddest irony of it is the Civic Center where City Hall is among the worst areas. So the mayor walks out the door. I guess she runs out the door into her limousine, but it's not good.
It says a lot.
Because there's no
That's an
commerce
issue in
and
Seattle,
shops
too.
around there. It's always been kind of a dead space.
Yeah. Well, and if you are a shop there, you're going to be moving because
you have the opera across the street. You have the ballet and all that stuff.
Yeah, we would go to the opera or the Golden Gate Theaters down there. We go to the theater, and you felt like you were taking your life in your hands.
I'll pass.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I imagine it's happening in urban areas all over the country. LA's
taking a hit too.
Yeah. Well, now that you've really cheered us up, Jeff Jarvis.
but Leo is doing his bit by getting everybody to come back to the office. So Petaluma is fun.
East Side Petaluma is hopping and happening. And
saw a lot of sushi at the gas station.
Oh, man, that gas station sushi's better than ever.
Oh, gosh. Don't do it.
And give us a thing.
My thing here is a floating road, and I saw this.
You're
a couple
just doing
weeks
this
back
to
from
make
Mr.
Jeff
Jarvis.
crazy.
Oh, jeez.
Because
you should have done a warning.
I have been on this road.
It is crazy.
I have pictures of Lisa at the. Is this the one in Norway or no? Where's this?
No, that's in China.
This is in China.
Give it a second there.
Oh no, this is China. Yeah, the one I was seeing before that was Norway.
Well, that's okay. I'm okay with that. If it's floating, if it's down that low, that's okay.
So this is
Right.
a bunch of
It's high up.
a bunch of different places.
Well, that many people on a bridge. No, I'm not that happy with it.
I was blown away from the
there's
video.
cars and
Cars go down the same bridge that the people are walking on.
This is the one I want to go to, the glass bridge in Vietnam.
Glass one, yeah.
Because you look through the floor and you see 100 feet below you.
Yeah, I was home. This is a couple weekends ago because again,
is that a walking bridge? The glass bridge?
Yeah. Look, he's wearing special
Oh, and you have to
booties.
put booties on?
Booties
Yeah.
on.
Isn't that cool?
Not going to make our glass dirty.
Oh,
So mean. Here's the floating road. The immortal bridges. The float. Oh yes, I've been there. Great Wall of
Great
China.
Wall.
Yeah.
tell me when it's over.
What else you have, Ant?
He is turned around. It's over now, Mr.
It's
Jarvis.
over. It's over.
Promise me.
I promise you, sir. I
Can I trust
promise.
you, Ant?
You can
No,
now.
I can't trust Leo.
I've owed you that for a little while. I've owed you that for a little while. Now it's out of my system.
You're not a Bridgerton fan.
I am not a Bridgerton fan.
Okay.
But this show, Queen Charlotte,
But you
when it
like this
came
one.
out,
Yeah.
Queen Pruitt was watching it, and I kept asking her, do I need to know anything about Bridgerton to watch that show?
Yeah.
And she could never really answer it. She eventually binged it. I finally started watching it, and I'm digging it.
You love it.
And I told her the other day, I said, don't get mad at me, but watching this reminds me of her. The main character in there, to me, looks like Queen Pruitt from I've known her for 20-something years.
Except for the hairdo.
That's a wig.
No, not that one. Scroll down. Actually, look at the other link.
The Queen to be looks a lot like Queen Pruitt.
The young version there reminds me of Queen Pruitt.
Yeah.
The young version of Queen Pruitt.
Good job, Ant.
And every time I see it,
version.
I keep looking at it. And she didn't take offense to it, but I was like, yeah.
She looks just like
that's
Queen
her
Pruitt.
right there.
Oh my God.
And so if you look at, I have a picture from about 10 years ago here in the rundown. You could see it.
I've seen that picture of her. That looks so much like her.
Yeah.
So maybe she's a reincarnated Queen Charlotte.
And I'm like, I can't stop watching this, but it's good.
Royalty.
It's a good show. It's a good show.
I am amazed.
She is Queen Pruitt.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You named her aptly.
Oh, the link don't work.
Oh, the link doesn't work.
Oh, my bad.
But I have to tell you, it looks just like that. That could be Queen Pruitt. That's amazing.
And I just got approval from Mr. Burke in the IRC. Yep, it does.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's a
I'm
good
never
show.
going to watch a Bridgerton show, but
That one's pretty good.
is it?
It's pretty
Is
good.
there
You
drama?
liked Outlander, dude.
That's true.
Come on.
That's a good point. That's a good
I
point.
couldn't fool with Bridgerton neither season, but this one, yeah, I'm in so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I'd ever have thought we'd have a recommendation for Ant.
Yeah, that kind of blew me out of the water.
By the way, do you know, Ant, that there is Bridgerton the musical?
No, thank you.
It was
Keep
on
that.
TikTok.
How about
and
you
then
keep
they
that to
sued it.
They
yourself?
got sued. But it's you're Stacey, you're right. It's the perfect story. It's a musical and it's TikTok and it's Ant.
No.
It's everything
No.
Ant
Want him to show you
loves.
more bridges?
No. Yeah,
Hey,
next.
hey.
I got you. I'm trying to get
Wow,
it.
I didn't even think of this. This is
was
Bridgerton, and it's a bridge.
Here's a link, IRC.
All right.
And here's one for Discord.
Yeah, put the link in so I can show the picture of the Queen in her court, and you can see. Yeah, it
That's
looks
a
like the
cute
same-
photo.
Yeah, she's really cute. I saw a picture of you and her with somebody famous. I didn't know who that was.
Oh, Fortune Feimster. I don't know why she popped in my head, but a couple of years ago, actually, it was right before we moved out here. We went to our favorite coffee house, and the comedian Fortune Feimster just walks in, was having a coffee and telling funny stories. It was
delighted
cool.
to be recognized.
Yeah, there's a great picture. Is it on Insta?
Maybe it's Twitter.
It was a great picture of you three,
and she was just as cool as they come, man. But she also lives there in North Carolina, up in the mountains, I believe.
I am not familiar with her work.
She's a funny comedian.
Yeah.
Did I tweet it? I thought I tweeted it. I'm sorry.
Was she the Southern blonde lady?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Curly hair.
She's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I found it.
Oh.
Okay, here it is. IRC. There, copy, paste. There you go, IRC.
I felt very out of the loop because I'd never.
Oh, she's
heard of her.
great.
Look at that. That's a better picture of Queen Pruitt, frankly.
It is too, yeah.
She looks just like the Bridgerton
Yeah, she does.
woman there, yeah.
She does.
So it's Fortune Feimster, Queen Charlotte, and the Ant-Man.
And some bald black guy.
Yeah.
That's me.
We do this fabulous show every Wednesday. It's kind of just fun to getting together with your friends and talking about stuff. It's around about
media. We love talking about media here. Makes Stacey very happy.
Eating waffles, talking about
waffles, and I'm all. I came here to eat waffles and kick ass, and I'm all out of waffles. The show every Wednesday, I should say, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. You can watch us do it at live.twit.tv. There's audio and video there, so watch or listen. While you're doing that, chat with us at irc.twit.tv. That's open to all. Of course, we also have the, what do they call it in a racetrack? Where the elite people hang out, the country club area.
Winner's circle.
The winner's
box?
circle. The boxes.
The club.
The
Club
seats. The club seats.
Club level.
At Club Twit. Join the club level. You know, unlike the racetrack, this is only $7 a month. It's cheap.
Yes.
And what do you get? You get ad-free versions of every single show, plus shows we don't put out in public, like Hands on Macintosh, Hands on Windows, the Untitled Linux Show, Stacey's Book Club. You also get, that's the Twit Plus feed with stuff that happens before and after every show. And you also get access to the box seats. That's the Discord. Wonderful group of people.
Nice.
Always fun. Chatting. Sometimes we talk about tech. Sometimes we talk about other nerd pursuits like cooking.
Sometimes Joe Esposito shares interesting memes with us.
I love Joe. He's great. We got 2 Joes in there. A lot of fun. Gaming, hacking, ham radio, science, sports, travel, all the topics you might be interested in. This is the future, I think, of social.
Yes.
Could you do virtual trivia? Like, could we do
we have a trivia. Wait a minute. Go to Let's Play. There is a trivia game. You can play it. Yes, against other people even. It's in the Let's Play.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Right there under Fun and Games. So what was the name of singer Frank Ocean's second studio album? Do you know? Nope.
No.
Nobody got
White.
So we can all play this together.
No, Off-White. No, that's a brand.
So this is fun. It's like better than Jeopardy. You can all play trivia.
You are allowed
together.
to sell your soul on eBay. False. True. False.
You cannot sell your soul. There's also a chess game. There's a Midjourney. We have our own little Midjourney channel. So you can share your Wordle scores to keep them out of Jeff Jarvis's feed. And then if you do,
I still play Wordle.
If you do want to play on the Minecraft server, go on to the Let's Play server, and I will add all these people who are asking to be added. I apologize. I will go home and add them.
Get to work.
Get to work. And I will update to the latest Minecraft 2 1.20. I didn't see that came out. $7 a month. Look at what you get. You get a whole life.
Get good content.
Twit.tv/clubtwit. And you also get this kind of satisfying feeling that you're helping us basically stick around.
Yep.
Because honestly,
keeps the lights on, even the ones that flicker in the background.
Yeah. keeps Burke up in the rafters. Honestly, we really need the support. So thank you for those of you who've already joined it. For those of you who are not yet members, twit.tv/clubtwit. After the show is done, we hastily edit it and put it out on the website, twit.tv/twig. We put it up on YouTube. There's a This Week in Google channel on YouTube. Best way to get it, though, subscribe to This Week in Google in your favorite podcast player. We have a few links at the website, but you can also just go to go to Overcast or Pocket Casts or Google, whatever it is that you use for podcasts, and search for Twig. You'll find it right away.
Even though this is This Week in Google, I do not recommend Google Podcasts. Sorry.
Not the best. Apple has updated their podcast. They talked a little bit about that at the event. Anyway, whatever you use. What do you use? I use Pocket Cast.
I still use my friend's passion project called Playapod.
Oh, yeah, Playapod. Yeah. That's a good one. Doesn't matter. You just look for us. We'll be there.
Yep, we're there.
And then you get it, and you don't have to think about it. There's audio and video of every episode. Thank you, Stacey Higginbotham. Stacey on IoT.com is her website. The podcast with Kevin Tofel's there every week. Great stuff. Anything else you want to plug, Stacey?
That's so much.
That's all we have to say. Thank you for being here. Aunt Pruitt is at antpruitt.com, and his prints are at pruitt.com/prints. He's on the Twitter, ant_Pruitt. And you do tweet quite a bit.
Yeah, most
Twitter
of it's
guy.
Automated, but yeah, I tweet.
Yeah. He's a tweeter. Look at that.
It's all about the hard head.
The showcases, baby. Man. Look at this. Man, I'd sign that boy so quick. Come on, you be in our college freshman class next year. Come on, hardhead.
Come on, people.
Jacob. You're good.
People.
Look at that.
Spread the word.
Beautiful pass. Good footwork.
Because Aunt Pruitt doesn't have the cash to pay for college.
Now they're going to think I don't pay you.
No, it ain't that. Most people don't have the cash to pay for college.
No, it's true. It's really tragic, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Jeff Jarvis. Let's not forget Jeff is the director of the Town Knight Center for Entrepreneurial Journalism at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York.
And coming out later this month.
The Gutenberg Parenthesis at gutenbergparenthesis.com. Get your copy.
June 29.
Pre-order it soon. Jeff, stay inside. I worry about you with that smoke.
Yeah, notice it's why the inside is orange now.
It is a little orangey. Is the air getting? Can you smell smoke in there?
It's the light.
Oh, it's just the light. Okay. Yeah. Well, stay safe.
There, that's better.
Yeah. Oof.
Whew, he fixed it.
Use a nasal wash. It won't help your lungs, but it'll help your sinuses.
Tell me about
spray
that.
Up your nose.
Oh yeah, I do. We have the thing where you squeeze it.
Neti pot.
It's like a neti pot, goes up one way and comes down the other.
Yeah,
and you go, ow!
Those are quite magical.
But it cleans you out.
Yeah, the saline spray.
Yeah, I don't spray it.
Or you can go for a full neti.
I hose it out. Yeah, I hose it out. They're just
That's a visual.
Okay, a little too much information. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll have a fun time next week. I won't be here because I will have drowned myself with my neti pot. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on This Week in Google. Bye-bye. Hose it out.
It's midweek, and you really want to know even more about the world of technology.
So you should check out Tech News Weekly, the show where we talk to and about the people making and breaking the tech news.
It's the biggest news. We talk with the people writing the stories that you're probably reading. We also talk between ourselves about the stories that are getting us even more excited about tech news this week.
So if you're excited, well, then join us. Head to twit.tv/TNW to subscribe.